Too loud. Too loud.
Ah. Wow. Wow. Immediately. I just need to be out of this, like, in the screen for like 1 second. And immediately it's just like, Happy America, asshole. Here's a apple pie. What the fuck? Why? Why must you do this to me? How dare? All right. No, Snap is here now. Snap is here now. No, no. You don't want to hit Snap. Okay? Exactly. Snap has arrived, so they're... Hooray. Leave him. Okay? You throw more things and you might accidentally hit him. You don't want to do that. Anyway. No, you can't invite Snap twice, unfortunately. I wish. I wish there was a way that you could, like, toggle Snap, and then, like, another one, and, like, another one, and then another one. And by the end of it, I'm just absolutely covered in snaps. Anyway. Snap, what's your opinion on Kane Animatronic? I saw Kane Animatronic, and Kane Animatronic is freaking cool. Snap's opinion on it, though, I don't know. He'd probably think it's just, you know... it's a deity of the machine, kill it. Or something to that description. So, hi! How you guys doing? Hope everything's great. I hope you guys have had a very lovely week. Mine has been very turbulent. Lots of crazy stuff happening IRL. But I am taking it with stride, and I am currently doing a whole lot of stuff to, like, you know, clean stuff up and make things nice and shiny and whatnot. I'm enjoying, like, well, I mentioned it the previous stream, that I've been just tidying up and, like, cleaning stuff up and making things a little bit more hygienic and a little bit more chill. And it's nice. Chronic pain. Ooh. Nope, I feel that. I've been having some difficulty sleeping because I got, like, one spot in the back that's, like, really annoying. It's just being like, hi, you want to sleep? No. I'm going to be here, reminding you that I'm there 24/7. I need my body to stop doing that. Cut that shit out. My dog destroyed our brand new couch our close family friend gave us and framed her daughter. Aw. How dare. Aw, man. Dog didn't mean it. Dog doesn't know what they do. Yeah, Nova, I've seen the Door to Darkness thing several times you posted. I had plans this weekend, but the pain was like, nope. So I could only stay in bed and read fan fiction and cuddle with my Kane plush. You know what? Sounds like that weekend was not all lost then. All right. I have an idea on what I want to do for the stream today. Something nice and chill that I can kind of like put on in the background that like doesn't require too much brain power, so I can keep on like hanging out with you guys. Bit, have you ever wanted to pull whole ass John Wick on someone? You know, I was thinking about earlier today that the game Pistol Whip, like that rhythm shooter type of VR game, is a little bit like being John Wick. So I've kind of wanted to be John Wick, but like, I don't know. I'm too much of a weenie to actually go and do John Wick for real. No, too wuss. Not enough like charisma. Spiraling into new favorite show and comfort show. Ooh. Fancy. Cutting potatoes and yeah, I remember you mentioned the knife slipped when you were cutting potatoes. Scary stuff. There we go. Give me a second, I have to go boot something up. Jake and the Netherland Pirates. Interesting. I don't know if I've heard of that. Okay, there we go. So, I had an idea for something that I wanted to do for a casual stream. And this has been a long time coming, for a really long time. And the second you guys see it, none of you are going to be shocked. Absolutely none of you whatsoever. We're back in the fucking building again. Welcome back, motherfuckers, to Power Wash Sim. Okay, but like in the way of, motherfucker, you hurt my friend, now I'm gonna ensure your dumbass suffers for it type shit. Yay, more Power Wash! So Power Wash Simulator 2 has been out for a really long time. I haven't really had the reason to go and pick it up for, like, you know, it's like there hasn't been enough content released for it that I'm like, yeah, that's worth it. I'm like, no, not really. I can't excuse the price. However, then not only do they have the Adventure Time DLC that they came out with a really long time ago, they also just recently released the Star Wars update. You bastards. Anyway, so yeah, that's my life now. So I hope you guys will enjoy indulging me while I do a little bit more power washy silly stuff. Can we power wash Jar Jar? I wish. Me so nice and clean. I need no. I could see it. I could totally see it. Anyway, so yeah, here we are. This is the new power wash office apparently, and also. Oh, hello. How are you? Hello, Squeak. How you doing? Ulysses. How you doing? Bubbles. I finished a game recently that brought me large amounts of joy. Interesting. Okay, you got my attention. What was the game? Also, I'm going to slightly lower the volume on some stuff because I know Power Wash Sim tends to be a little bit annoying. Oh, Once Upon a Katamari. I remember hearing about that. It's just a Katamari game, right? Except, like, you know, extra stuff. Filthy. Right. I have only gotten a little bit into, like, the original Katamari Damacy, and, like, I have like, the original spot. Ooh. Power wash services. Why is the stop sign a hexagon? But are they anti-octagon? What's going down here? Katamari is a fun game. It's just running around, doing all what's its. Ooh. Are the sprinklers any weird way? I think it'd be funny if the sprinklers were sort of like modeled after my power washers. Ah! Thank you. It's the first new Katamari game in 14 years. I see! Neat. That's kind of cool. So is there anything that I can, like, see out in the distance as, like, references to previous Power Wash games? Probably not. I know that there's some references to some Power Wash stuff on the inside, though. And it makes me happy. It's just like, oh, call back. What's in here? Oh, washing. In case you needed more washing liquid, you could just dispense it. This, man, okay. So there's a reason why soda machines have stopped doing this sort of a system for, you know, for collecting sodas. And it's because it is such a danger to just have a gigantic bottle of liquid fall in incredibly high heights down into like a little receptacle at the bottom. We figured out like, hey, wait, that's a fucking stupid idea, and now we do the whole like funny crane game thing where it reaches down, grabs the soda, and then brings it to a receptacle. Like, we don't want any like, you know, liquid materials to like explode. So, you know. Can I throw a fax machine at you? Haha, joke's on you. I don't have fax machines to throw. Let's see. Well, we got a little couple of different references to some things that we cleaned in the past. Like, look, he's the dinosaur. He's the dinosaur. Sealing the deal. Freeze frame. Painting. Ow. Miniatures. Caldera County cryptids. Oh man, are some of these a reference to like some of the people that I did power wash stuff with? Like Dr. Joseph, making washing fun. Mount Ruthless Mining Rush. IRL, me lore drop, I guess. Oh, I'm really sorry about that, Maddie. Childhood trauma with a dog show. I'm really sorry to hear that. I don't know what it is or what aggravates it, but yeah, that sucks. No, childhood trauma, not fun. Definitely something that you like, you shake your therapist about being like, is this normal? Peter Pan never told Jake and his crew about how he's the reason why Captain Hook has a hook hand, and they just never bring it up because they all had a feeling. He's sensitive about it because, unlike Peter, they care about Hook's feelings. Maybe. Fountain Scuttle. Design of the abstract. Okay. Oh, hey, there's that thing. I cleaned that. Also, is it just me or does this plant look it's overwatered? Like, wait, maybe that looks more like soup than actual dirt. Lay off the. I know we're a power wash simulation company, but like, yeah, stop watering the plants. You don't need to water them that much. What do you mean I butchered the English language? So what do we got in here? Oh, we got more stuff. Kitties. Kitties. What is he up to, Muckingham Herald? I remember that building. I remember I cleaned that thing up. Science mad. Oh yeah, and there's the the statue. There's another thing of the statue. Oh. I probably cleaned that plane. Oh, aliens or big tech? I remember these aliens. No idea if the music in Katamari is content ID, but it's so dang good. Likely, yes. Oh, taking note. In the home base, examine an item on Harper's pinboard. Neat. Again, more books, more flowers. Ooh. Access story jobs via the county map in the upstairs office. Yep. Understood. Alrighty. So that would be this, right? Or how make work? How do? I'm not entirely sure. It'd be great if that's how it worked. Just spray where you want to go. Let's see. Oh, there's a picture of the whole city. That's neat. Oh, friends. Is there a zoom function? I forget. I think there probably was, but I just don't remember what it was. Miku belongs to Spain now. Miku belongs to everyone, not just Spain. Well, I do like the attention to detail that you have no ability to spray the cats. Very friendly, very nice. Hi. How are you? Oh, sleepy. Sleepy kitty. Couldn't I just go to the pause menu and take a look at my missions, or is it is that like, a requirement just to be a pet? All right. Do not that. I'm sorry. I do what I want, damn it. Bit, how good are your rhythm games? Fairly okay at them. Not super great. Depends on how complicated they are. I was considering maybe playing Rhythm Heaven Groove sometime pretty soon. Because, I like Rhythm Heaven. Rhythm Heaven's fun. Anyway, access story jobs via the county map in the upstairs office. Is this the office, or is the county map in here somewhere? Is this, this is more office-y. Close the door. Go fuck yourself. Last person I'd ever want to see after I got to meet a husky puppy. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, sorry to hear. I really want to get Rhythm Heaven Groove 2. Why does the game cost money and why am I broke? Why does everything cost money? Makes me sad. Saw the Odyssey at Regal Cinemas in the IMAX format. Pretty good and interesting movie. It was about Ancient Greek and warrior knights and Cyclops fighting. That's cool. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, the Odyssey. I remember I've done. I remember doing like several different stories and several different things involving with what was it? I think I did like a school report on that at one point, and then like I've looked into the Odyssey in a couple of different ways too, including I did the whole well, I watched like Epic the musical stuff, and like that is basically just the Odyssey. So I don't think I could watch the Odyssey. I would be able to not. Yes, there we go. Exactly. Ooh. Wait a second. Ain't this? This can't be the. I don't think this is the garage that we did the original Power Wash stuff in. Maybe? No, probably not. It's probably like my new workshop, the one that I was able to spend all of my accumulated amount of stuff for. Yeah, I can't wait for the movie too, like the musical thing. That's gonna be so freaking cool, man. Please don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up. Oh, every single thing is pointing to it being great. You literally it's one of those things that like you've telegraphed perfectly exactly the way this thing should be created, completely, and like the world itself has created so many different like animatics just for like this freaking musical. If you don't succeed, I don't know what we're doing wrong as a society. You know what I mean? Anyway, story jobs via the county map in the upstairs office of the home base. Hey, here's the Caldera County office map. How is it that? Oh. Pin? Oh, okay. I was confused and didn't understand. Great news! You're fully moved in, and the removals van moved to the wash bay, awaiting your expertise. Don't think the van should pose too much trouble, despite you having to sell off most of your equipment. I know we got a bit carried away at the auction, but trust me, there's so much more potential in this place. Oh, and Jess says not to worry about paying for the van hire. In fact, she'll pay you. Oh, time to clean shit, like I always do. Freaking easy money. Yep. All I need to do for Epic Movie is just hire the best animatic creators on YouTube to do the official ones, and then animate them and make it look like Prince of Egypt. Ta-da! Right. It's a no-brainer. They absolutely can do it. Also, hello, Sun God. How you doing? Oh, hello. There's a happy in here. Hi. What's going on? Yeah. How into Epic the Musical are you? Yeah. I remember Pierce recommended like an entire playlist of them to me one time, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand now. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be cool. Oh, hello. God-forsaken. Why must everything suck? Okay. No, you guys probably can't be heard. Give me a minute. This is probably due to Windows constantly changing their settings. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, it defaulted to the Windows speakers for some reason. Give me a moment. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I know why that's happening. Let me think. How do I want to go about doing this? Okay. Oh, no. I can hear myself twice. That ain't gonna work. Hello. Say things.
Test
Hello?
1, 2, 3. Chicken nugget. Chicken turkey.
Rubber baby buggy bumper.
65.
Oh, dang it. So now I can hear you guys via the stream, but I can also hear you through my monitor. God damn it.
Oh wow.
Ah!
Echo.
Why?
Hello, Maddie. You know, I got tired of Twitch on desktop always logging me out after I think 30 days, so I'm just looking at my phone to look at the chat. I'm tired of having to get my account name, my password, and that stupid login thing, phone imaging.
Okay.
Or maybe
Talk.
I just switch over to SMS again.
Can you guys hear them?
Test 1, 2, 3.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
I've decided to tunnel your audio through the same audio that is coming out of... That's like playing the music at the moment, which is not ideal. It doesn't separate the audio channels at all, but it'll do.
No.
Nah. Works, I guess.
Gosh darn it.
Also, Powerwash does not have music.
It really doesn't. All you can hear is just
It's
that.
just water sounds.
I can't hear anything because I don't have the stream on.
That's fair.
I just have it muted.
I mean, I also usually mute it when I have it on the computer, but like I said, I'm on my phone now when it comes to reading the chat. I'm looking at you, chat. Hello, how are you doing, chat?
How you doing, folks? Thank you, Abby.
Oh yes, it's a pie!
Let's go!
What did I get?
Great.
Oh, this is
Both you got
Oh,
pies.
there I got a pie.
Good stuff. What the fuck?
Oh!
Stop it!
3 pies in a row.
Yay! Poke him! Poke him with a stick! Oh, man. Here I am just trying to clean the van and make it look all nice and shiny. And meanwhile, all you guys... Dude, what is with my freaking capture device right now? It is just... It doesn't want to behave. It's just like... I put my hands down and then I like keep working. And then it's just like, hands? What hands? Yes. Pie, exactly. Anyway, no, I am slightly tempted to go and play the Star Wars DLC that's come out for this, since we're actually planning on seeing Star Wars on Friday in the Discord. So yeah.
I want to see the Adventure Time DLC, to be honest.
Ooh. You know, that'd be kind of cool. Let me finish cleaning the van and then we'll go look at it. 2 pies in a row. There we go. Anyway, random thing popped into my head just now. I just recently saw a video that was released by Dank Pods, and I talked about them in a previous stream here not too long ago. You know, audio reviewer and all that. And he just recently did a review of the Steam Machine.
Ooh.
And you know the Steam Machine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard about it?
Yeah. And
The
he says
GameCube.
like, Yeah, it's the GameCube. Yeah, Dag says it's really good and he really likes it, and it does a lot for, like, you know, what is currently in it. But the thing that makes him extremely sad is that, unfortunately, this is one of those things where it's way too expensive for most people, and by extension, that means that it probably won't succeed, or, you know, it won't succeed as hard as people want it to.
As it could have, yeah. I do hear it's selling well. Like,
well, it's
but just
selling
not
well
like
in
it
that
could
they
be selling much better if it wasn't so expensive. Yeah.
Well, the problem is, they only have like a limited stock and supply of the dang thing, so.
Yeah.
Maddie, yeah, you should draw that.
It's been selling out. I mean, it seems like, so what is it, like $1,200? That's about the price of a gaming of a gaming laptop.
Right.
Like,
but
like a pretty, like an okay gaming laptop. And I feel like it's probably a lot more powerful than that. And you're probably going to get, if you want it if you want it just for gaming, and you don't want it for anything else, then I feel like for the money, that's probably better bang for your buck than a than that kind of gaming computer for that price.
well,
but like
the industry
for just
that they're
a little
trying...
bit more, you could get a gaming laptop that also does other things. So it's, I don't know.
The industry that they're trying to break into is the console industry, though, and
Yeah.
therein lies the rub. Like,
Well,
they
it's
needed to be
basically,
able to
yeah,
be
it's just like
competitive.
an alternative to a gaming PC because it just runs Steam games
Yep.
as what it does.
In theory, like, you know, it does have all of the things necessary to make that happen, but it ain't going to do. What breeds would they even be into, though, for it? Is Maddie is saying.
What are you talking about? Maddie, what are you talking about?
Maddie's talking about, like, drawing something.
Okay.
Specifically, like,
So,
Breed
dog.
of what?
I was
Hey,
thinking that PCs don't really have breeds, so I'm confused.
Just like, what? What is this conversation we're having?
But yeah, with how expensive consoles are getting, like, if you want to buy a PS5 now at this point, or an Xbox Series, or whatever the new consoles, like a PS6, or whatever Xbox is going to call their new Xbox console, with how expensive those consoles are, at this point you might as well just get a PC, because the convenience of buying a console, which is why you would do that in the first place, that convenience is kind of not really there anymore with how expensive everything is. So just buy the PC.
And it's like a lockdown platform too, so like,
Yeah.
you know, you
I'm
can
gonna
only
be on.
use
Yeah,
it as a console.
I used to be like a Nintendo Sony guy. I had a PlayStation, I had a Nintendo, whatever the current Nintendo console was, and I had a gaming PC. So that covered my bases pretty well. But then I started like not being interested at all in any of the stuff that was on PlayStation. Like a lot of stuff was coming out multi-platform, so I would just end up getting it for PC instead. And I haven't really touched my PS4 in like a couple of years. And never got a PS5. Really glad I didn't.
Yeah.
Fuck Sony. So yeah, now I'm just like, I feel like the only console worth buying is the Switch 2. Or the Switch the Switch stuff in general, because Nintendo actually has a lot of things that are exclusive to that console, and it's also just extremely convenient from the fact it's a handheld and TV console hybrid.
Oh yeah.
I bought a Switch 2 not all that long ago, several months ago. And I'm like,
nice.
I haven't even bought any Switch 2 exclusives for it yet, but I still feel like it was a good purchase.
Okay, well, what do you have on it so far?
I don't have any Switch 2, anything on it that's actually a Switch 2 exclusive.
Right, but like, what do you have though?
most of the stuff that was on my Switch 1 and Tomodachi Life.
So it's just like take old cartridges, put in new console, bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, but like the screen is nicer and some games run smoother.
See, I have the Switch
And you're
OLED model, and
you're future-proof for getting
future-proof.
all the
Yeah,
other
it's
cool
future-proof
games that are
for
coming to Switch 2.
Yeah, for Switch 2 exclusives I do want. Because assuming it's not held together with duct tape and prayers like Pokemon Violet was, Pokemon Winds and Waves does look neat. We just have to pray it's, an actual finished game.
yes, right. I heard
Yes.
I heard through the grapevine that apparently because of some new laws that are currently being enacted in Europe, people that are making handheld devices have to adhere to specific battery laws, in that you have to have the ability to replace the battery easily. And because of that, it means that stuff like the Switch is going to have to be modified slightly so that it actually works properly for a European market. I'm kind of crossing my fingers that maybe they'll just say, all right, screw it, all regions can get the exact same one. Because they're like, whatever. We don't want to splinter production too much, so here you go. You can all have the easy replaceable batteries.
Is the Switch 2 region locked?
The Switch 2 isn't region locked, but there wouldn't be any point manufacturing-wise to make a separate SKU just for Europe that lets you replace the battery and then not let you do that for the other regions.
Exactly.
Can you not replace the batteries in the Switch 2?
Well, currently
really.
with if you buy a Switch 2 anywhere, then there's no way to manually replace the battery. But in the EU, you have to be able to manually replace the battery, otherwise you can't sell it there starting in 2028, I think. So Nintendo already announced that because of this, they're no longer going to be selling the Switch 1 in the EU.
Mm-hmm.
And the Switch 2, they will have to redesign to allow for manually replacing the battery.
But they'll
if
have
they
to
want
make
continue
it. They'll
have
have
a
to
market
make a
in
new
Europe.
model of Switch 2. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm happy and looking forward to that because I want more of my electronics to be properly replaceable. To go on a little bit of a rant here, earlier I was doing a little bit of I was throwing out a whole bunch of things that I don't really need. And one of those things that I found just sitting in storage was this really nice Bluetooth speaker that I bought for $120 and had been sitting in storage for a really long time. And I thought to myself, let's boot this up and see if the battery still works. Spoilers, it doesn't.
Oof.
And then I went online to ask people what. I mean, I didn't ask, but I searched forums to see if anybody had any solutions for it. I found some really janky random people that did manage to hack a standard battery into the dang thing, but it requires you to find a control board from a random laptop they happen to find. And I'm like,
Weird.
well, I'm not doing that. And then there was one person on Reddit who was like, hey, yeah, it doesn't work anymore, and I've heard that apparently the battery isn't the problem, it's the control board, gotta replace that somehow, and you have to swap a thing. So does anybody have any recommendations on how to do that? And then the top reply was, mate, you should probably just get a new one.
Yeah, it's fair.
I don't want to just get a new one. Spend $100. It makes me sad. I want tech that I buy to not be dead in 2 years because the cheap lithium batteries they put in these things explode.
Oh yeah, didn't they Zog planned obsolescence too?
Hey, it's Kyle. Hello. Sorry.
Hi.
I did not know the battery was the thing about the battery about the Switch was a thing because my Switch 1 is an original model. I bought it the year the Switch came out.
Yeah, same.
And it still works fine.
Mm-hmm.
would play it mostly in handheld mode, so it's good.
Yeah, my
It'll
Switch
probably last
1
me a
is
long
working
time.
fine, perfectly fine right now. For me, it's a question of when, It's only a matter of time. But hey.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, maybe in 20 years, it'll stop.
No,
it might stop working, but
I mean, you know how quickly like phones, like lithium-ion batteries die, like within 3 to 4, maybe even 5 years. I don't know. I suspect that like the Switch 1 battery is, I mean, it's good, but it's probably going to have very similar problems to other lithium batteries. The good news,
If
The
you
good-
want to
In that
have a
case,
fun
really good.
time,
would it still be playable in the console mode, the TV mode?
that depends on how the battery is connected to the system, I guess. Because like
if you want to have a fun time, go onto Reddit and look up the Spicy Pillows subreddit.
Spicy Pillow,
Spicy
yeah,
That's a great name.
yeah.
I
Have
don't
you ever,
know what it means.
oh, have you ever seen lithium batteries when they're just about ready to die?
Well,
They
now I know.
inflate.
Yes,
They
yes,
inflate
yes, yes,
and they
yes.
look like a
Inflate into
pillow.
a spicy pillow.
Yeah, they
Yes, my
inflate.
old laptop. I had to replace the battery before I got this laptop that I have currently. Like right after Christmas last year. I had a laptop that I'd had for a few years, and I had to, at one point, I had to replace the battery in it because it was like that. It would look like it was going to explode.
Yeah. Oh, dude. The laptop that I've been teasing, the one from like 2019. Out of curiosity, I wanted to see if I could improve any of the internals in the dang thing, and so I opened it up, and the battery was just. I'm like, oh shit. And then I went and I got that third-party manufactured one for like $20, and I thought I was getting a good deal. And then the battery died like 3 months later, and I'm like, oh,
As it turns out, yes, there was some components in there you could improve.
yes. But anyway, I just recently went and picked up an official HP laptop battery to replace it in the dang thing. Hopefully it lasts longer now, because it'd be nice to be able to keep using that thing. Anyway, I just want to have the ability to repair my hardware without having to, like, you know, take the rubber feet off, unscrew a bunch of stuff, unclasp a bunch of plastic clasps that are holding the, you know, the housing together, and unglue the screen. Like, this is so obnoxious. Wouldn't it be nice if, like, you know, just like regular AA's or AAA's, there's just a little door, and you open it up, you swap them out, bam, you're done.
Yes. Especially, I actually dealt with a console that had a spicy pillow before. It was my old PSP.
Oh no!
Ooh. Oh no.
So I had the PSP in a drawer, and it had been sitting in there for like 5 years or something. And I eventually went digging for it and tried to find it. And thankfully, past me decided to take the battery out of the console before putting it into storage. But I tried picking up the battery and putting it back into the console, and it no longer fit in the console.
Oh god.
Oops.
So, in light of that, I decided to, first of all, dispose of the battery properly, and second of all, buy a PS Vita instead.
Oh, and
That
that's
reminds me to check on my Vita. It's been in a drawer for a little while. I
yeah.
hope it's still okay.
I got a Vita and 2 3DSs that are currently sitting out. Still on charge actually, because I want the batteries to last. But no, that's just a lesson for everybody here. Make sure that if you decide to dispense batteries, get rid of them properly.
Yeah.
I know you
There's,
could be
like,
tempted to
proper-
be like, nah, just throw it in the garbage. No, those
do
things are
not do
explosive.
do not do that.
No,
Yeah,
There's
those things do actually explode. Dispose of it
Yes,
properly.
You
And that,
need to.
you know,
There's
that's
a
gonna-
special proper method of getting rid of old batteries.
I saw
Yeah.
I saw
Into a
there have been
recycling
several
center.
videos of like garbage trucks that, like, when they have one of those lithium batteries enter it, and the garbage truck decides to compact everything inside of it and go, the thing goes kaboom, and then like the garbage truck can't do anything about it, like, so they just have to let it burn.
Rip.
It kind of sucks.
I miss my PSP though. I think I've told this story, but my PSP was stolen.
I remember you've talked about how you had a whole lot of stuff get stolen from you.
I was living in an apartment, and at the time I had a 3DS. I don't know if I don't think I had the original 3DS at that apartment. The original DS at that apartment. I think it was like back at my parents' house or something. But I had my 3DS, all of my DS and 3DS games, my PSP, my Vita, and all of the PSP and Vita games. I there was one time I had to go to the hospital, and I was taken to the hospital, and I was in the hospital for a while. And when I got home, after coming back from the hospital quite a while later, I found that my 3DS, PSP, and all of my DS and 3DS games were gone. While I was in the hospital, we could only assume, because I knew exactly where they were before I went to the hospital, that while I was in the hospital, somebody broke into my apartment and stole them.
Man.
What was weird though, but thankfully very fortunate, is they did not take they did not take the Vita. I don't think they knew what it was.
Fucking assholes. They're like,
That
what the heck
is
is this
actually
garbage?
pretty funny.
This isn't successful. Who owns a Vita? Nah.
This isn't even worth stealing.
No. It's like, God damn it.
So at least my Vita was okay, and they did leave the PSP games, but I didn't have a PSP anymore, so that kind of sucked, and I ended up mostly selling those, because I didn't want to buy another PSP, and but I did end up buying another 3DS, and.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate.
I was very. I remember being very especially annoyed by it because like 2 weeks earlier, or like a week or two earlier, before I had to go to the hospital and this happened, I had just bought Yokai Watch for the 3DS, and I had was really into it, and then it all got stolen, and I'm like, God fucking
Jesus.
I just got this game.
That's terror. I'm so sorry to hear that.
I had to buy it again. And I did, because Yokai Watch is goated.
Zisol,
Yeah.
after we're done with this call, hop into a call with me so I can help you hack your Vita.
Oh yeah. I've been meaning to do that. Thank you, because it is technically no longer supported. So
I've done that a long time ago. I haven't messed with it.
My PSP was hacked. Hacking the PSP was like the easiest thing ever. I was shocked how easy it was, and it was cool because that was how I played. Danganronpa before it had an official English localization.
Yeah, the Vita and the 3DS are about as easy as the PSP was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's about like Wii levels of easy to hack.
I sold
Friggin'
my
awesome.
Wii. Sometimes I'd wish I hadn't.
I still have my Wii, but I sold my Wii U, and I'm kind of regretting it now because the Wii U is actually really good for like tinkerers and modders.
The Wii U is a homebrew king. It is so freaking good.
Like the thing can do so much.
You can run Mario Eclipse on it.
Yeah.
It's okay, Galindo. It happened in 2015, so it was a long time ago now. And I was able to replace a good chunk of the stuff. I just never the thing that I'm still salty about is just the fact that they stole my PSP, and I never wanted to. It was just it just wasn't worth getting another one. So if it had not been stolen, I would still have the PSP, and I would probably still play it on occasion because I liked a lot of the games on the PSP. Especially because I could put literally anything on it because it was hacked. Also the fact that a lot of those 3DS games that I had were like Pokemon Soul Silver and Pokemon Ruby, or not Ruby and Sapphire, like Diamond and Pearl, and a lot of those games that are actually worth a good bit of money, and I had a hell of a time replacing them because you could buy because at the time, it was good luck getting. It was a good luck getting another copy of Pokemon Soul Silver for less than $60 or $70.
Yeah.
Actually, question: how old? Like,
Yeah.
how much does Soul Silver and Heart Gold run for nowadays? 'Cause
Oh,
I have it.
Oh,
oh,
that's ridiculous.
uh,
Easy triple digits.
I was
Hey,
so
nice.
I was in there is a store in my town called Hidden Block Games. It's a really cool video game, anime, trading card game kind of store. And they sell games up from and accessories from the NES until now. So it's like every retro games and every generation of games, and then yeah, so they got like everything. So I was looking in one of their shelves of some older games that they had still in the box and everything. They had a copy of Heart Gold, new in the box, and Soul Silver, new in the box. Guess how much each of them were?
How much?
$500.
Holy
A
shit!
whole grand for if you wanted both Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Oh,
That
I was
one game is the
fucking
one
flabbergasted.
game is almost as much as a launch PS5. What?
Yeah, this is I'm
No.
just like this is and
man,
even
what if
somebody else even looked at it and said, "Holy shit, that's overpriced."
well, okay.
Yeah,
so
that
question:
is ridiculously overpriced.
I wonder how much it would be if you had both if you had Heart Gold plus the Poke Tracker along with it, and all of the instruction booklets and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was new in the box, and it was new in the box and came with all that, so that was probably a reason for the price hike. But even then, I think you'd max. I think the reasonable price to max out would be maybe $250, something like that, because it's brand new in the box and has all the little accessories and everything that it originally came with. $500 is just absolutely absurd.
Yeah, that's
No
stupid.
video game is worth $500. I don't care how
Yeah.
good the game is.
Yeah, nope. Also, I just noticed something. They did a thing where now instead of having to go into your side menu and look at every single little individual stupid thing that you missed, it'll give you these little crosshair reticles being like, "Hey, you missed a spot over here." That's convenient. I like that.
Also, Maddie, yes, please yap autistically to me about Yokai Watch. I will literally never forgive the Western world for rejecting Yokai Watch.
There it is, boys. It's nice and clean. It's called the Poke Walker. How dare you? Did I not say Poke Walker?
I think you did.
I thought I said Poke Walker. Did I say Poke Walker or some crap?
Oh, Digiwalker. It's for Digimon,
Oh.
obviously.
Did I say Digiwalker?
No, I'm making a joke.
Oh, well.
The joke is that Digimon and Pokemon are interchangeable, even though they're not.
That's true, actually. God. People are just like, what is it? Dude, no. One of them is super campy and fun and friendship filled, and the other one is a drama and a half. Okay, so.
Yeah, actually, some friends of mine and I have been watching Digimon Adventure 2020, the remake that they did. It's the remake they did of the original Digimon anime, and it's it's really good. It's actually not just a beat for beat remake of the original Digimon. It's actually its own thing. It's a kind of a new. It's kind of the old storyline, but also a new storyline. It's a different take on it. It's pretty. It's really good.
I've heard good stuff about it. Just the fact that it is all of the old characters, but it's told in a much cleaner and succinct and kind of a more intriguing storyline.
It feels more polished. It definitely feels a lot more polished than the original. It feels more like what they probably wanted the original Digimon anime to be back in the day, but since it was the very first one, they just were able to just make it however they could make it. So it feels
Right,
more this is probably what they wanted to do back in 1999, but didn't really have the time or the resources or the experience
Oh, cool.
to know if that kind of thing would work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
we have a budget now. Oh yeah, the new transformation sequences for the Digimon evolutions are so good.
I might have
They're
to
really,
see
really
that,
good.
actually. That sounds like that'd be baller.
They're really good. It's really cool.
Agumon, Digimon 2, Greymon.
Oh yeah, like the Agumon to Greymon new Digivolution animation is amazing.
I gotta look that up at some point, or like you gotta send me that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever comes
I'll
first.
I'll look for them. They're really nice.
Why you look for those? Adventure Time. I pulled it up here.
Yes.
I, Princess Bubblegum, hereby dub thee the Royal Candy Cleaner. Sounds like a tough job, I know, but I genetically spliced you from the legs of a worker bee and the toughest donut I could find. So, hard work is literally baked into your DNA. My friends Finn and Jake have volunteered, by royal decree, to devise a test to train you up. Do a good job and, who knows, maybe you'll get the royal seal of approval. Alright. We're cleaning the treehouse. Let's go. Jesus. Oh, Bimo! What? What?
Aw,
Hello.
Bimo.
It's
You can
Bimo.
pet Bimo. Aw.
You can pet Bimo.
Oh yeah, Matt. They basically so the Digimon Adventure 2020 basically starts with our war game.
Oh,
Like that's
okay.
how they start the anime, and then so it's like the original, the very first Digimon anime ever was actually like a 20-minute short film,
Mhm.
and that was like a pilot for the TV show basically, and so the first couple episodes of Adventure 2020 is basically a combination of that and our war game. And then after a couple of the episodes of that, we actually get into the digital world isekai.
Oh,
So which
okay.
is very cool. That's like that was a you can retroactively feel like Mamoru Hosoda's influence on like yeah, people like our war game and people like Summer Wars and generally everything that Mamoru Hosoda did for Digimon, so that's kind of what we're trying to do.
I kind of like
Again,
the
even
idea
though he-
of what was it? Oh, God, I had a thing I was thinking there. I like the idea that like they're teasing the digital world for an extendedly long period of time. Because let's be real, that's the thing you're waiting for. Because you're like, I want to go to the digital world again. I want more digital world. No. Not yet.
It is
Just like
it is pretty cool how they
dangling by
like
a
build up
string.
to it. Yeah, it is cool how they like build up to it in the first couple episodes, basically doing the original Digimon Adventure pilot plot plus our war game.
So, I just noticed something here. The Adventure Time DLC, they gave special graphics for the water effects for like this particular area.
Oh, nice.
It looks more cartoony.
They did that a little with the SpongeBob DLC in the first one. It looked
I
a
didn't
little.
pay much attention to that. I mean, I know that they gave
It
like
wasn't like super huge, but it was kind of subtle. But yeah, you could see it looked a little more. 2D
I saw
cartoony
that they
looking.
had the whole they had the funny bikini bottom like water sprayer, but I didn't see like changes in the actual like water physics, because like this looks like 2D cartoon water.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Straight
It was
up.
just it was just like a cosmetic thing. Anyway, yeah, Yokai Watch was good, and I'm mad that it was completely rejected by the West. When we never got, and because of that, we never got an English version of Yokai Watch 4. And we never will.
Man. That sucks. What? Marceline? Someone's playing my bass. I can feel it. Oh. Sorry. Oops. I didn't mean it. I'm just cleaning it up for you. No worries. Don't steal my red. There we go. So, yeah, when was the last time you did any watching or, like, anything to do with, like, Adventure Time?
God, it's been a few years. I kind of wanted to watch the Fiona and Cake series, but I forgot.
Oh
Never
yeah,
a go.
I heard. Really
I did hear
stuff
good
about
things about it. I heard it was like a good successor,
it.
like spin-off kind of thing. That felt like kind of like a nice little like natural evolution of where Adventure Time left off. And I'm like, and it wasn't like too long either. I think it did get a second season, but it was more like, yeah, it just felt like a nice little continuation
Right.
that
Considering,
worked really well.
I mean, how long ago did Adventure Time like conclude?
When did it officially end?
Because it's kind of impressive, just the fact that like
2018. The final episode was called "Come Along with Me."
dang,
It aired September 2018.
never got to play the
That's
Yokai
really-
Watch spinoff. The silly little parody on Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, Yokai Watch Busters. I didn't. I regret not buying those. I wanted to I wanted to check those out, but they seemed kind of multiplayer focused, and it seemed like I don't have anybody to really play this with, so maybe I'll check it out at some point, but it's not a priority right now, and I regret not getting it because like it's impossible to get any of the Yokai Watch games now, like legally, officially. They're really, really rare and expensive.
Legally, officially.
Yes.
Speaking of obtaining games legally and officially, there is a fan translation for Yokai Watch 4.
Oh.
It runs on either a hacked Nintendo Switch, a Nintendo Switch emulator, or a hacked PS4, if you're playing the PS4 version.
I forgot there was a PS4 version. I don't want to hack my Switch yet. Maybe someday, but not currently. I wonder if I could get it to work on an emulator.
You probably could. I mean, even though like Yuzu and Ryujinx were shut down, they just got forked anyway. So
Good.
the Switch emulators are still absolutely fine.
Yep.
Yeah. I did see a lot of people using them for Tomodachi Life, so
Yeah.
I might look
yeah.
into that then. I might look into that then.
Yeah.
I know that
'Cause I
like
really-
the main thing I wanted to do with my hacking of my Switch, like I haven't done anything super crazy with it. The only thing that I really wanted to do was I wanted to make sure I got a copy of the operating system, or like the firmware for the Switch. And it's that's the main thing. Like if I can get the firmware and I can use it to like run some of the emulating software that is kind of requires it, I'm pretty happy boy.
Like
Honestly.
the common key and like the stuff that the emulator needs to run.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that stuff.
And I got that stuff, so I'm a pretty happy camper. It'll be nice when we finally figure out a way to emulate the games without needing that firmware, but one day.
Yeah,
I mean,
Maddie,
people are very, very slowly but surely working on decompiling Super Mario Odyssey.
That's gonna be super fun.
That's gonna be very fun.
I saw a tweet the other day. It was like, I saw the Odyssey, and where the fuck was Mario?
It's like, let's do the Odyssey. Where's my Bing Bing Wahoo?
Maddie, I have Yokai Watch 1, and I have all three versions of Yokai Watch 2, which are Bony Spirits, Fleshy Souls, and Psychic Specters. If you decide to play Yokai Watch, do not bother with the first game and get the Psychic Specters version of Yokai Watch 2, because the thing about Yokai Watch 2 is it's basically a remake of Yokai Watch 1 plus a ton of new content. So it's almost kind of like they made a sequel, but then also slapped the first game onto the sequel also. So it kind of renders Yokai Watch Run redundant because you go to all the same areas and it
Dude,
has
that
pretty
reminds
much
me
all
of
the same
Pokemon Red and
content.
Blue with like when they released Gold and Silver.
Yeah, no,
Where they're
well,
like,
Gold,
"Hey,
Red and Blue
let's-"
still feel like, yeah. So get Yokai Watch. Don't bother with the first game. get Yokai Watch 2 Psychic Specters, which was the Pokemon Crystal or Pokemon Platinum version equivalent, where it's just like it had pretty much everything from the original 2 release versions, and then it has a whole bunch of other extra content. And they even added in more content, I think, because there was a bunch of like really hard to get Japanese exclusive content that they just like were just like there's no way to really distribute this for English, so we're just gonna put everything that we possibly can for all the remaining Yokai Watch 2 content is going in Psychic Specters. So that's really nice.
Kind of sounds like Yokai Watch was making like a Game of the Year edition, essentially.
It's yeah, pretty much.
Yokai Watch
And
Final
then-
Mix.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and that's my favorite game in the series. I had like 300 hours. I have like 300 hours clocked into that save file on my site was originally Bony Spirits, but then you could transfer your save file actually over to Psychic Specters and then play all the new content, which was really cool. So you didn't have to, so it wasn't like Pokemon Platinum where you had to start over. You could just straight up transfer your save file and then play all the new content, which was really nice. So yeah, between the original like Yokai Watch 2 and you got Fleshy Souls, well, not for nothing, because if you connect with a Bony Spirits or Fleshy Souls save file, you get like a bonus dungeon, which makes it easier to get some of the yokai and like late game stuff, which was cool. But it's like it's not necessary. It's just a neat thing. A nice little bonus if you did play any of the previous 2 versions and like connected the save files or anything. So what was I saying? Yeah. Between the original like Yokai Watch 2 and then updating it to Psychic Specters and playing all the extra content, I have like 300 hours in it.
Oh,
it is such a good game. It's such a good game. And while Yokai Watch 3 is also pretty good, they change up a bunch of things. Actually, they kind of change up some major stuff in Yokai Watch 3, so it's a bit different. But it is still pretty good. It's the one very petty reason I did not ever beat it. It wasn't because I didn't like the changes to the gameplay or anything. I thought they were kind of neat and fun, and I liked that this series was actually willing to, mix it up a bit and try something new and experiment a little. Cough, cough, Pokemon, which has been the same game for 20 freaking years. The very petty reason I never beat it was, so in the first 2 Yokai Watch games, you had a choice between either a male or a female player character, and the story was, and especially in Yokai Watch 2, the story was slightly different depending on who you picked, and the character is actually like, I really like the way that they're written. I got really attached to I picked the girl because I liked her design more, and she had this very cute, her Yokai Watch was it was a pocket watch instead of a wristwatch, which I thought was cool. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pick the girl. She's cute and she's got a pocket watch, so I'm gonna play her. And so I played her in both of those games, and I got like really, really attached to her. And but here was the problem. By the time Yokai Watch 3 came out, there was a Yokai Watch anime. And in the Yokai Watch anime, we were like, well, we can't have 2 protagonists, except we totally could have. They just didn't want to for some reason. Well, we gotta pick one to make the canon protagonist and have them be the person that gets the Yokai Watch and Whisper as their butler and everything like that for the anime. So they picked the boy, because of course they did. So what they ended up doing for Yokai Watch 3 was, instead of you having the choice between the their names are Keita and Fumika, or because I refuse to call them by their English names. I don't like how some of Yokai Watch was localized in terms of like how the yokai names themselves were localized. I think was very clever, but I hate the fact they tried to make it not Japan. Because it's fucking Yokai Watch. How do you make
that? Is so dumb. That's like
it's so dumb.
That's
it's
like
so
They're
dumb.
yokai. They're specifically Japanese spirits.
It's
Hey,
very
guys.
it's literally specifically Japanese mythology and folklore.
Hey guys,
You
I'm
Can't
gonna
make
make a
it
new
not
series.
Japan.
I'm gonna make a
This
new
doesn't
series,
work.
and I'm gonna call it Kabuki Theater, and it's going to be entirely. It's gonna entirely take place in the Hoover Dam. 100% Hoover Dam.
It was literally, you know that I don't. There's this Ace Attorney comic, with like. There's this Ace Attorney comic with Phoenix, and he's like obviously in Japan, but talking about like, wow, I love that we live in America in the city of Los Angeles, and Apollo just looks at him like, doesn't this seem kind of off? And then he sits at a kotatsu in a kimono and says like, nonsense, Apollo, come sit around the traditional American kotatsu and eat your hamburgers. And on the table is like a bento box with like onigiri and stuff, and Apollo just sits there glaring, and Phoenix just looks at him like, eat your hamburgers, Apollo. It's just like that is Yokai Watch's localization. It is.
Do you want a jelly
donut?
donut? Nothing beats a jelly donut.
It is that. It's
fuck.
so cringe. I kind of hated it. Even though the way they translated the yokai themselves, like in terms of translating the names being puns and everything like that was very clever. I just wish they'd actually kept the setting Japan and the characters with Japanese names. So the English names for the main characters were Nate and Katie, but I called them Keita and Fumika because it's fucking Japan, damn it. So anyway, for Yokai Watch 3, instead of having the choice between Keita and Fumika, as you could in the first two games, you could only play as Keita, and also there are some points in the game where you played as a new female character named Iroha. I completely forget what they called her in English. And I hated this. And I hated Iroha. She wasn't as cute. She was kind of annoying. And I just didn't like her because she was basically the replacement goldfish for Fumika, who now just wasn't canon. Like
now exists in the lore.
It was like, oh, you played as Fumika and she's your canon protagonist in the first two games. Fuck you. Now, in Yokai Watch 3, this other kid that you didn't pick he's the protagonist now. And also sometimes you also play as this other girl who you don't know, and it's just this random new character that it isn't nearly as likable. And I was just so salty about that. I was so mad. I hated Iroha. Oh no, it's not Iroha, it's Inaho. Her name was Inaho, not Iroha. It was similar. You get confused. And again, I don't remember what they called her in English whatsoever. I hated her, and because of that, I was just salty and never finished Yokai Watch 3 because I didn't want to play as Iroha. I didn't want to play as Ina and Keita because he's like # not my protagonist.
Astronaut bunny guy.
Oh, yeah, Usapon. The fact they gave Usapon a fucking... They did something really, really funny. It was cringe as hell, but I admit it was funny for Yokai Watch 3. So the actual plot of Yokai Watch 3 is your protagonist, which should have been either Keita or Fumika, moves from Japan to the United States. And then in the United States, they get involved with like this X-Files type conspiracy. There's literally even characters that are XBs of Mulder and Scully, which is very funny.
Oh, that's cool.
You get into this X-Files type conspiracy that involves American yokai. So, and though it's kind of disappointing, a lot of the American yokai aren't actually based on like American myths or cryptids. They're mostly just like random things.
Oh,
like there's like a chicken nugget.
Bigfoot
like,
just showed up in there.
What?
Oh, snail.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, this was like a chicken nugget yokai. There's like a chicken nugget yokai, and it's like, okay, well, I sure, okay. America has cryptids and folklore creatures and mythology.
Dude, could you imagine if they did some of like the modern cryptids?
You could have done like a Mothman yokai.
Yeah.
Or a Jersey
Monster,
Devil
Bigfoot,
yokai.
Literally
That would
anything
have been
from Gravity
nice.
Falls.
Yeah.
Is my mic working?
Your mic's
yeah, you're
working.
good. You're good. So they don't do that. It's mostly
talk.
just goofy random stuff. And so yeah, but yeah, it takes place in America after your character moves there from Japan. What they do the localization for the English version, because in the English it was like we said it's not Japan that you're originally from. We don't specify where it is, but it's not Japan anymore. So what they do is you move to what is implied to be from wherever you were from to the deep south of the US. So everybody has these really exaggerated southern accents, and there's a bit in the game where your character does not understand English because they're Japanese and people in America are speaking English, so you get so you catch a yokai that translates for you. They changed that to everyone has such heavy southern accents, exaggerated heavy southern accents, that you can't understand them and their dialect, and you still need the translator yokai to actually be able to talk to them even though they're still speaking English.
That's clever.
That's kind of goofy. I like that a little.
It's funny, and that is funny. I will admit that was funny.
What the hell are you saying? What I'm saying is...
One sec.
What's that?
He's asking you if you want a bag.
It was pretty funny. So what they did for Usapyon, who is the American yokai who is like the main partner of Inaho, whereas like Keita or Fumika's main yokai were Jibanyan and Whisper. Her main yokai is Usapyon, and who's like a little astronaut rabbit guy. He's pretty cute. They gave him, I swear to God, he sounds like King Dedede in the English dub of the Kirby anime.
Yes.
AKA best Dedede.
That
The
makes me
best,
happy.
the best Dedede. Yeah,
That's not Kurt. That's not DVD.
which is like, I can't decide if I hate this or I love this.
I don't know. I think I would like that, honestly.
It was
Dedede is
very funny.
hilarious, and I love
It was very funny, but I was just very soured by the fact that they replaced Fumika. And I did not like Inaho nearly as much. I kind of hated her. But yeah, so this all circles back to another reason I'm mad there was never an official yokai localization for Yokai Watch 4. Because you know what they did in Yokai Watch 4?
Did they bring back
They
the
realized
protagonist?
they realized everybody hated Inaho, or at least didn't like her as much as Fumika, and they brought back Fumika as a playable character, and so you could play as Keita or Fumika like you could in the first two games. Thank fucking God.
I wish they put
God,
Escargoon
Phoenix.
in more Kirby games.
Phoenix, I have wanted this literally since 2004. I am so salty that the two of my favorite characters that were exclusive to the anime in Kirby, which are Escargoon and the Nightmare Salesman, they never showed up in any of the official Kirby games after that. I really, really hope they would get integrated back into the game series proper, but the only games they ever showed up in were Mass Attack. The only game they ever showed was Mass Attack, a game that nobody really liked.
Yeah, that's because Kirby Mass Attack isn't really a Kirby game.
It's kind of not. It was okay. I played it and I'm like, this is fine, but it's like, it's not the high. It's not. It's I wouldn't call it one of the better Kirby games.
It's no Superstar.
It's no Superstar. It's
Or
not
Planet
even
Robobot.
or Planet Robobot or Nightmare in
Or Triple
Dreamland
Deluxe.
was a remake of Kirby's Adventure, right?
Yeah, the NES one.
Yeah, that game that's one I played the shit out of as a kid, was the GBA version of Kirby's Adventure, which was called Nightmare in Dreamland.
Nightmare in Dreamland was really good.
That was a really good game. I love that game. So yeah, I guess because Mass Attack was so mid, they took that as like, oh, nobody wants the anime characters in the Kirby games, when no, that wasn't the problem. The problem is the game was just mid. So they never put the anime exclusive characters back into the Kirby games again, and I'm still mad about it.
Fumu and Bun.
Because I love Escargoon and the Nightmare Salesman, especially in the English dub, where he's just, I love Escargoon. He's just such a bitch.
Oh, absolutely. I love Escargoon.
The Paul Lind impression, and he's just so sassy, and he has such fun chemistry with DDD. Like, They're such boyfriends. I'm s-
No, you're right. Absolutely.
yeah.
No apologies for that. You're right.
They're just boyfriends. And the Nightmare Salesman was also very entertaining, mostly because of Dan Green. Like
Mhm.
Dan Green just doing his Dan Greenest.
Yeah.
I love Dan Green. Dan Green is.
I love Dan Green, and yeah, that was so much fun, and it was so great because like in the original, this is why I defend Kirby is the only 4Kids anime where the 4Kids dubbed anime where the English dub is better than the original Japanese. Because both of those characters, Escargoon and the Nightmare Salesman in the original Japanese, are not anywhere near as fun or interesting or entertaining. They're kind of just, in the Japanese, Escargoon is just kind of just a generic evil henchman. He doesn't really have that fun, sassy, bitchy personality. He's just more of a generic, bad guy who subs for
He's
DDD.
just like, hello,
Yeah.
I am the person that helps out the boss, and that's it.
Yeah, he's just kind of a generic henchman. It's very disappointing. So he's not nearly as fun in the Japanese version, and then the Nightmare Salesman is so boring in the Japanese. He's literally just a generic, polite salesman. He's very boring. He doesn't have any of Dan Green's like sleazy used car salesman kind of like. Oh, he's like Dan Green was given the character, and he's like, oh, so he's an evil salesman who sells evil salesman villain who sells monsters. Okay, I know exactly what to do with this. And he did it the most fun, just like sleazy used car salesman. Like this guy is just a
Right. Bye. Do it today. Yep. No, I can hear it ringing in my.
Imagine Spampton but sane.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, he spammed it on proper meds.
Has anybody
he
ever had
spammed
him...
it on it. He spammed it if Spampton actually remembered to take his meds.
Has anybody ever had him do the Big Bill Hell's Cars thing?
I was just thinking that.
If I ever meet Dan Green in real life, if I ever do, which I hope I do, I had the opportunity once. He was at a con that I was at, but the con was just like huge, and I was busy, and I had other people to see, and I just didn't get the chance to see him. So if I ever get another opportunity to meet Dan Green, I will ask him to do the Big Bill Hell's rant in the voice of the Nightmare Salesman and record it.
Please.
I don't care how much it costs. I'm doing that.
Fuck you, Cappy Town. If you're big enough schmuck to buy a monster from me, you're big enough schmuck to go to Big Bill Hell's Cars.
Right. Somebody write a specific script here. Like, if he's worried about using the swear words, come up with like a clever script. Something. Can we get 4Kids on the phone?
You're dumb enough to buy a new monster this weekend. You're dumb enough to come to Nightmare Enterprises. Oh, that would be incredible. I need to do this. This is on my bucket list now.
Yes,
please.
But I wish it wasn't 100 episodes, because that's very long. If it wasn't 100 episodes, I would suggest Kirby right back at you for our watch parties.
Here's the thing. I'm not against the idea about doing TV shows, no matter how long they are. It's just a matter of, we gotta meter them out in a specific way.
Yeah,
I mean, for example,
and it's...
I already have plans for showing shows like Cartoon Network shows.
Oh, nice.
Specifically, I'm lining us up to watch Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm also lining us up to watch Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh my god. Literally formative media.
Yes.
Formative media for me.
Which is funny, because like I went and I watched some of the episodes from like all of the discs that I've got. And it's funny because like most of the stuff I remember were from like season 1 to 3. And then 4 and 5.
Same.
A lot of it is just like, what the fuck is this?
Oh yeah, I was
like,
rewatching some of it on before it got taken off of HBO Max. I was rewatching some of it. I'm like, man, I knew it had like 4 or 5 seasons, but I don't remember a lot of these episodes from the later seasons. I barely remember them. Most of what I remember, is from like the first 2 seasons. Return the slab. King Ramses, the man who goes
Oh fuck. Yeah, no.
Courage was so revolutionary. It actually understood the fact that the CGI animation of the time looked fucking creepy and uncanny. And so it made its monsters with the CGI of the time to make them look creepy and uncanny intentionally. And it
Played
was
into it.
terrifying.
You're not perfect.
Oh my god, fuck that. Fuck that.
And what's funny, actually, that came out around the the era of Courage where I wasn't really watching it. So when
Yeah.
somebody showed that scene to me one time, I was like, "Wait, this was Courage? What episode
That was
this?"
the final.
When
That was
did
the
that
final episode.
And it
Perfect
was the
was
final
the
episode,
final
so I'm
episode.
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
fuck."
Yep. That and I could kind of tell because that is perfect. Is the words, that episode half an hour. So the first half of the final episode is Courage's origin story, before he's found by Muriel, where his parents are kidnapped by an insane veterinarian and sent to the moon. He sends them on a rocket to the moon. And it's very sad.
Yeah. Sad in the
then
Courage the Cowardly way, the Cowardly Dog
Yeah.
way, because you're just like,
Yeah.
"Wait, Moon, what?"
Yep.
No,
It's-
If you've been hanging around in Courage the Cowardly Dog land, you know that that's normal.
Yeah. So it's very sad. And then Muriel adopts him, and then it's not so sad. And then the second half of the final episode is perfect, where it is the teacher from Perfect. It's implied that was just all in Courage's head, and it was just about his insecurities. And they basically pulled out all the stops to do. It's like, okay, we got to do some of our most weird, fucked up, whack, creepy shit here because this is our final episode. We got to go out on a high note, and oh boy, do they!
Yep.
Oh boy, do
yeah,
they!
do. Holy fuck. An episode where aliens took the old lady Mariel and experimented on her. I'm trying to
That's
remember
several
what episode
episodes.
that was. A lot of episodes
Several
that
episodes.
happens. Dude,
Yeah,
one
that
episode
happens several
one
times.
episode that like freaked me the fuck out wasn't even a part of like the main roster of episodes. It was like the prototype or like, the pitch episode where like Eustace slowly turns into a fucking chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, Chicken from Outer Space. That was just a short film that so basically that was just a short film that the creator made, and then it ended up becoming the pilot for Courage.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a bunch of episodes in the show where it's like the return of the chicken from outer space and the revenge of the chicken from outer space and the son of the chicken from outer space, and that was fun.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
One of the few times Cartoon Network depicted something sad, dramatic, and unsettling to watch. Yeah. They
Courage was a
definitely-
horror cartoon, like straight up. It's a horror comedy, very much, but it leans way harder into the horror than you would ever think for a something airing on Cartoon Network at the time.
Right.
Like that was marketed as being for kids or for being for
like,
all ages.
Courage the Cowardly Dog is a show that I got a friend who he uses Courage the Cowardly Dog as like the prime example of like kids can handle a lot of things, and this show is a perfect example of that. Yeah, it's creepy. Yeah, it's a nightmare, but like I think kids are able to wrap their heads around like crazy and creepy scenarios just fine. Like
There's
you
analog
don't have
horror
to-
type stuff.
you
before
don't
that.
have to
Yeah,
baby
yeah.
them, you know. And I
Yeah,
still
no,
kind
How
of
because-
popular Five Nights at Freddy's is with kids.
I'm what Courage and Goosebumps were to my generation, stuff like Five Nights at Freddy's and Poppy Playtime is to Gen Alpha, and I'm like, yeah, kids love this shit.
Mhm.
Kids
Like,
kids love scary shit.
Let kids have their horror content. Like, if you want to make that for your programs, like, do it. You know,
Or
if somebody's got a
anything made
really
by
good
Don
idea.
Bluth. Literally
Yep.
anything made by Don Bluth.
Oh yeah, I think Don Bluth said something like, you can pretty much have any kind of sad or scary content in a movie for kids as long as you have a happy ending, and it's just like, that's kind of fucked up, Don, but you're kind of right.
I mean, yeah,
He's not wrong.
point. True, I suppose.
Yeah. But yeah,
Ah.
Courage the Cowardly Dog is like formative media for me. Like that along with The Brave Little Toaster, which has been my favorite movie since I was a fetus, is like, so what's my aesthetic? Okay, cute, cartoony, but also weird and creepy and terrifying.
Weird. And what
That's
the
all
fuck.
thanks to Courage.
Yeah. So
and
here's a funny little thing about Courage the Cowardly Dog. Now this is going into like stupid technical stuff, and it has to do with like video codec. So get ready to get bored, everybody. I've been trying to figure out a way to properly like compress the footage for Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I have come to realize that I don't know what the hell they did, but the footage for Courage the Cowardly Dog is weird. Like, it's got the strangest variable bit rate and like frame rate that I have ever goddamn seen in any media whatsoever. Like, there are certain sequences that look like they were, they were animated on like 12 frames, that kind of thing. And then, because it's like TV, it seems like it has been adjusted to work on 30 frame per second release. And then you get sequences where there are, there's actual, like, you remember those sequences in Courage where they had like live action actors' faces in them sometimes?
yeah, like with the Harvest Moon.
Yeah. Those sequences are running at somewhere around 60 frames per second.
It's weird. I wonder if that has anything to do with like the DVD transfer process, or if that was actually just an actual quirk with the way the show was, or if it's something to do with the DVDs.
I'm tempted to say I think it's a quirk with the with like the media itself, like not necessarily with the way that it was released to DVD. I think they made Courage the Cowardly Dog specifically. Ow. Sorry if I'm being boring. Anyway, I think they made Courage the Cowardly Dog specifically like this with the intention of the, I don't think they cared too much about making the frames consistent at all. But what has
probably didn't really matter at the time, yeah.
Well, maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But like, one thing for certain is that it makes actually converting it into a different frame rate, or just converting it in general, kind of a nightmare. I'm kind of tempted to just say, screw it. You can be the same size, and just as long as you look good. And to be fair,
worth noting also. The show is now on a streaming service called Tubi, which is entirely free. So,
right. Well, I guess for me, I'm like, your DVD quality anyways, it's not gigantic file sizes. Yeah. Who cares? You're fine.
Yeah, it just might save you some work if it really is that weird.
Yeah, no, I think I'm planning on just leaving it alone. Now, Ed, Ed, Nettie, on the other hand, that was a no-brainer. That was a very, very specific frame rate the whole way through, so, yeah. Ed, Ed, Nettie is my formative years.
Oh, no, same. I watched everything from classic Cartoon Network, Ed, Ed, Nettie, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab. That's my childhood. Mm-hmm. I didn't really get into stuff from, like, Disney and Nickelodeon. Like, Disney movies, yes, but, like, Disney TV and stuff, and Nickelodeon, Nicktoons. That wasn't really till, like, high school. My big Nicktoons phase was in high school.
I had a combination of basically all the different platforms at the exact same time, basically. And then when I reached like my teen years, I got really what's a good way to put it? No, I basically just decided that no, this cartoon stuff isn't for me. Who gives a shit? I don't need this. I'm an adult. I like edgy adult stuff.
I'm so glad I never went through that phase.
And then, yeah.
I was a loser who loved cartoons from a time I was a fetus until now. In high school, my elementary, middle school was Cartoon Network stuff, and then in high school I got into Invader Zim, and then all of the other Nicktoons kind of by proxy.
You watched G1 Transformers on your iPod? Hell yeah.
That's cool.
Oh god, iPods. Holy shit.
Yeah, and Ed, Eddie is also on TV. They basically, for some reason, they removed, despite the fact that it is an HBO Max is like the Cartoon Network Warner thing. They took all of the Cartoon Network stuff off of HBO Max and put it on Tubi, which is a good thing, ? Because Tubi is free while HBO Max isn't, so I guess that makes them more accessible.
The fact that it's officially available somewhere is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just strange.
All
But I am glad they are officially available somewhere.
What the fuck?
What was I saying?
Oh, there we go. I was just like, what do you want from me, game? Okay.
Oh, right, the Kirby anime. So the
Oh, yeah.
Kirby Right Back At Ya is 100 episodes. I do have all of them in varying quality because unfortunately the show has never had an official full the dub version anyway has never had like a full official home media release. They released some DVDs with some episodes, but the entire series has never been like had a full official release of any kind. So for a while it was actually the series was incomplete because it was really hard to find people who had just recorded because that was the only way to have it. It was people who recorded it while it was being aired to get all 100 episodes. But eventually we did manage to get them all, again in varying quality because the only way to get them was if people recorded them, and this was like the early 2000s. So we do have them all, but it is 100 episodes, and that is it's fairly long.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm glad that we at least have the episodes, I suppose.
Yeah, I would do anything for it doesn't even have to be a Blu-ray. I'd take it just a standard DVD release of just the complete series.
Well,
They did
well,
release
I
them
don't
on
think it
Blu-ray.
was.
They're just only in Japan and only in Japanese.
Damn it.
Yeah, we don't have one for the dub.
You know, fandom is a crazy thing. Who wants to know?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe one day somebody will take the Japanese copies and slice them in a way that, like,
You could theoretically do that. You could just take the audio. You could just take the Japanese Blu-ray and then basically dub in the audio and do whatever editing you need to do to make it sync up.
but it'd
because
have to
like
take
the
a
English
very
version did have
dedicated
some
person.
additional editing.
So
Yeah, that would take a lot of time and a lot of effort.
I have learned, like, never underestimate the power of hyperfixation. And if somebody gets
Is it on Internet Archive now, Phoenix? That's really good. Yeah, Internet
Ooh.
Archive's great. I didn't realize
cool.
it was actually on Internet Archive now, so that's really good. I just have it on like a hard drive somewhere.
God bless the Internet Archive, and let's make sure that nobody.
It's on Internet Archive, that's even better. That makes it super accessible. Because yeah, like I said, I think it was the best dub that 4Kids ever made because it's the only dub they ever made that's better than the Japanese, because the Japanese is just kind of flavorless.
It's interesting.
The English dub theme song is hands down 100% an objective improvement.
It is I like the little Kirby march. It's like the Japanese theme it's nice. It's just a cute little like curtain. It's like
it's cute, but Kirby, that's the name you should know, is not going to be beat
the
anytime
fact they
soon.
do it. Oh my god, yeah. The fact they turn the English theme into like this crazy swing big band number with the singer going like the singer is singing like it's the guy. He's on the Titanic and it's about to sink.
Yes.
Like he is singing like it is the end of the world, and it's incredible. Like there is so much like it's camp. That's the best way I can describe what's so great about
there's
Kirby
a
Right
lot
Back
of
At Ya.
elements of Kirby Right Back At Ya that, like,
yeah,
they almost predate what current Kirby media has. There's like,
yep.
There are a lot of little bits and pieces that you're like, was this inspired by Right Back At Ya?
So
the
it
English
probably
dub?
I think it probably did fade back into the, even if it didn't character-wise, it probably did feed back into the later games, because a lot of the episodes is they gave like characters that were just like a random enemy in one of the Kirby games like an entire backstory. An episode centered around them, because it's like Kirby had lore and stories, but it's like wasn't the kind of thing that easily adapted into an anime or like a single series.
Mm-hmm.
It would have made sense if like you could do a movie out of like some of the like all the little games in what's the one with Marks again?
Oh god, I don't remember. Shoot. Also,
Milky Way
I'm
Wishes?
a little,
Milky
I'm
Way
a little
Wishes, I
bit
think?
annoying.
Yeah, that's Milky Way Wishes. That's Superstar.
Milky Way Wishes. Yeah. Milky Way Wishes. Like that would have been like a good like OVA or a movie or something. It doesn't really work for like an anime series. Same for like the Kirby 64 with O2 and Dark Matter and all that. None of it didn't really. It would have the stuff that you could have done like movie adaptations of those games, but they didn't really work for like a single continuous anime series. So what they did was they just made a new canon basically for the anime with a lot of new characters, and then also like we're gonna just take these random characters and random enemies from the games and just expand on them and give them backstories and make them actual characters for the anime, which was really cool. And I'm sure that did end up feeding back into later games, but I am sad that the canon of the Kirby anime itself has never like been fully fed back into the games or like had its own games. I would love a game, like a Kirby game that's actually directly based on the Kirby Right Back Atcha canon.
That would
I
be
feel like
freaking
that would be a little bit hard though, because the main villain of Kirby Right Back at Ya is Nightmare, and
Yeah.
he died in Kirby's Adventure. So
Well, yeah, but it's a separate universe. It's a separate canon, so.
yeah, but if they were to go and integrate the canon of Kirby's Adventure with Right Back at Ya, I'm not sure how that would really work.
Yeah, in that case it wouldn't, but it would need to be like its own totally separate continuity, which
Like,
would be fine.
If you can resurrect freaking Ganon like 5,000 times, I think we can have a game where like a side story where in a side story in a not too distant universe, Kirby.
I wouldn't
bring
mind
back
it just
Nightmare
being
for
a
no
totally
reason.
separate continuity.
Yeah, it could absolutely.
It'd be really fun.
Also, am I the only one that's kind of annoyed that they didn't have any bacon pancakes sitting here?
That is kind of a missed opportunity.
It's like, where are they? Make it bet. All right.
Yeah, Adventure Time really ran for eight.
Oh,
eight-
I
eight
only
years.
just noticed Finn and Jake made slime angels on the floor. I just noticed that. Schmauzow! RCC, that was tops. I can't believe you cleaned everything. Kind of hoping you'd leave something behind since we cleared out the cupboards, making the place all scrunked up. Maybe we can grab lunch somewhere.
We need to episode Meta Knight fucking dies. Also, I will defend Zoro Meta Knight with my life.
Oh yeah, Zoro Meta Knight is
Anto-
peak. That is how Meta Knight should
Antonio
always
Banderas-
sound in every Kirby media
Oh, yeah.
going forward.
I know.
Yeah, no,
it
I
sh-
agree.
it should.
Zoro Meta Knight is
It's
freaking
so
awesome.
cool. It's so cool. He just sounds awesome.
He does.
Hey, look, Star Wars.
And also, and also, I do love that the abbreviation for Kirby Right Back At Ya is Kirby.
Kirby. All right. Oh. Hey, we're cleaning the old sand pit. How does that work? How does this pressure washer and sand pit work? I don't get it. Anyway, I hear you're the best cleaning droid in the Outer Rim. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Oh, it's Owen. It's Uncle Owen. Spoilers. Rip.
Oh.
We've had another sandstorm.
Cool.
Bad one. Knew it was coming when all the fly horns took off. As you'll see, the homestead is encrusted in mud and sand. I need you to clean the lot.
But I was
Okay.
gonna go to Penn Station to pick up some power converters.
Not you. Not today. You are. Oh, look at me. Look. I don't know what I look like. I kind of wish I. But look at the thing.
God, it was so. I feel like my fourth eye opened when I first saw Star Wars: A New Hope for the first time in college in that science fiction class, because so many lines were just like, "Oh my God, that's where that's from. Oh my
Right.
God, that's where that's from. That's where I've heard this so many. That's where that's from."
Yes.
I don't
Like-
see what's so
pop
great about
culture.
Star Wars. It's just characters saying lines that I've already heard over and over and over. That's a joke, by the way.
Yeah.
No,
It's
like
I've
Star Wars
heard-
is like
oh my
deeply
God, I've
ingrained
heard
in.
all of these lines in so much media over the past 25 years, and now I
Yep.
finally understand where it all comes from.
It's
Mhm.
that Danny DeVito, oh my god, I get it.
Oh
meme.
my God.
Yep.
I get it. Ooh. Wait a second. I just noticed something. I gotta turn up the audio real quick. I'll pull up.
I have the stream muted, so I can't hear it.
The power washer has like laser sound effects in it.
Oh, that's great.
What the fuck? Thank you to whoever decided that. That's genius.
Someone made an animation edit if Meta Knight took his mask off in the anime. I'm surprised he never did.
Ooh, that would have looked interesting.
I would love to see them do a follow-up anime where they actually start adapting other stuff from the more current games.
That would be really great.
Oh, yeah.
Like, some stuff for Planet Robobot or Triple Deluxe would go so hard.
That would be really cool.
And if they do Star Allies after that, oh my god, that would be amazing.
I would love a new I would love to just please release the entire series of Kirby Right Back At Ya, and maybe also do it. And you can do a new anime, even if it's like a short series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah,
Something more than just the Kabuki Kirby short, please.
yeah. That short's fine, but it wasn't like I want more.
If the 4Kids Digimon movie can get a re-release, I feel Kirby Right Back At Ya should absolutely get the same sentiment.
It wasn't 4Kids that did Digimon, it was Saban, the Power Rangers people.
Well, didn't 4Kids make their own specific flavor of it?
Nope.
No?
4Kids was not involved in that whatsoever.
Dang it. Okay.
If Sonic X can get a re-release recently, that did happen.
Okay, there we go.
Ooh, okay.
That was 100% 4Kids, so...
Okay.
Right,
that gives me some hope. I mean, it's Sonic, but Sonic's Kirby's
Kirby is Kirby, man. And like, I don't know how litigious Nintendo is with Kirby, especially with Right Back At Ya. But actually, wait, no, isn't Kirby Hal?
Kirby is Hal.
Well then, but what's the problem here?
I don't know.
I just honestly, I feel like they just aren't sure if there's enough demand for it. They don't know if it's popular enough. Because I do know, sadly, I do know some Kirby enthusiasts who are just like, I don't like the anime. It's not canon. It's a little weird and goofy, and I'm just not into it. And it's just like, that makes me sad.
You know, something can be weird and goofy and like non-canon and still be worth your time.
It's better
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and and it was kind of like my introduction, and it wasn't really like my introduction to Kirby. Like, I knew what it was before Kirby Right Back At Ya, but I wasn't like super into it or anything. I really just knew it from like Kirby from like Smash Brothers.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I first learned about Kirby.
Yeah.
I was just like, who is this funny puffball? And why is he so easy to play?
He was just the pink puffball from Smash Brothers, and then Kirby Right Back At Ya came out, and Nightmare in Dreamland for the Game Boy Advance, and I was adored those to pieces, and that's how I got into Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
And
also Kirby Air Ride.
Yeah, Kirby Air Ride too.
Kirby Air Ride.
They did a funny thing. They actually did a funny thing with that. So thankfully, the Kirby anime is mostly pretty episodic. There is like an overarching story, but it's pretty. Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, there is technically an overarching story, but it's like it's mostly pretty episodic. And so what they did was, so when Kirby Air Ride came out in Japan, the anime was kind of towards the last leg of the anime. It was like episode 70 something. That they did these episodes that were like based on or inspired by Air Ride, that featured characters like riding around in the vehicles from Air Ride. And so that was episode like 70 something of the anime. So what they did for Kirby Right Back At Ya, meanwhile, in the English dub, we were only on like episode like 20 or 30. So they're just like, fuck it, it's an episodic show, let's just take episode 70 whatever, and make it episode 30 whatever in English to promote Air Ride, because it's also coming, because because Air Ride is the new Kirby game, and we want to be able
Oh.
to promote it in English too. So we get a late series episode very early in English because they moved it up in order to promote Air Ride.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
was
cool.
supposed to be the series finale, so like episode 98, 99, and 100, and they moved it to episodes 50 and 51.
Well, the finale is still just like episodes 99 and 100.
Well, it's the one where they get on the halberd and they go and actually fight enemy, which is, I'm sorry, slight tangent, but why did they change Nightmare's name to Enemy?
I don't think they did intentionally. I think it was a mistranslation or like a communication error in the part of 4Kids, because there are some times where they call him Nightmare, like properly, because it's supposed to be the company is supposed to be Enemy for Nightmare Enterprises, and then the guy who runs it is Nightmare. Nightmare owns Nightmare Enterprises. That makes sense. But I think there was some kind of mix-up for some of the translators and the localization, because sometimes they call him the guy himself Enemy, which is it's not. His name is Nightmare.
That's not his name. That's never
And
been his name, and it's
yeah,
dumb.
so it's inconsistent. So I think it was just 4Kids being 4Kids, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just ignore it. His name is Nightmare. It's supposed to be Nightmare.
I don't know why, but this is reminding me that you ever heard that one like Gundam video game, like the live action like Gundam game that was made before, and they accidentally completely fucked up the name of like the the main like group of people, like like the main like team that run the Gundams.
Whoops.
And like, what's funny is that there's an entire encyclopedia of information about the series Gundam in the game, spelled proper and everything. And yet, for some reason, they decided we're gonna pronounce it and spell it completely different outside of this encyclopedia. And you're like, why did you do this?
I know it was 2004 or whatever, but communication couldn't have been that hard, guys.
Yeah, I just feel like they didn't give a shit. And which just sucks because like that was around the time that like a lot of anime was starting to come to the West, and I'm sure that like I'm sure they probably wanted to make Gundam like a huge thing over here as well. So it just kind of sucks that like, you know, a bunch of projects involved with Gundam at the time, especially ones that were made specifically in the West, ended up fumbling the bag so hard.
I remember there being a few Gundam series on like Toonami and stuff, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't a complete loss. Like, honestly, I think the stuff that deserved to get attention in the West ended up getting attention. So, there's good news. You know, like Toonami was a godsend when it came to anime in the West.
Yup. God bless Toonami.
Yeah, I need to adjust the audio just a little bit.
And that's something, and the more I think about it, the more that's like, man, that's just a thing that our generation has and that will never happen again because anime is all streaming now.
Yeah, man, that's true. I mean, just in general, like, you know, television programming blocks are just something that you're really not going to see very much unless you like actively go and look for it. Because there's actually some ways that you can have that experience. It's just you got to work real hard to get to it.
Yeah, they did technically. Toonami is technically still a thing, but it's part of Adult Swim, and it's just like, oh, they just play like whatever anime is like currently really popular, like Demon Slayer or whatever, at like midnight on Saturdays, and it's like it's not the same.
No, sadly not. Well, the thing that kind of bothers me is that Owen says, you don't happen to understand the binary language of moisture vaporators, do you? What about Bachi? You speak that? Shut the fuck up! I'm not one of your stupid droids. Go buy one.
Phoenix, you sure you're not drawing Flynn Rider? If you can't get his nose right? But yeah, it's so fascinating to think and talk about anime in the 90s and 2000s, because that really is truly a bygone era that will never be known or experienced again.
Mm-hmm.
It will just be the stories that we hand down to the next generation. Will be like, wait, it wasn't all you used to watch anime on TV and not on Crunchyroll.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, it
there
would
was
be
this weird
like,
time
wait.
where they aired the same episode 8 times in a row, but it was different actually.
Oh, fuck no. Yay, endless aid.
That's gonna be fun.
The Icarus of anime that flew too close to the sun.
Yep.
What gets me about that is that they only did that for like 3 of the manga issues.
It's a single. So
Only
Haruhi is
3.
based on a light novel. It's based on a light novel. You know how light novels work. They are basically published in chapters. So it's similar to manga, where in Japan you have manga magazines, and every week you pick up a new issue of the magazine and it's got a new chapter of the manga. Light novels are similar, but less often. They're more like probably like once a month or something. Depends on the magazine. And then when you pick up the magazine, you get like a new chapter of the light novel, and then when they're eventually published as novels, you get like volume 1 of the novel is like 5 or 6 of the first of the chapters that was published in the magazine.
Okay.
So with Haruhi Suzumiya, Endless 8, the 8 episode arc that is the majority of the second season, where it's just the same episode 8 times, except it's not. That is 1 chapter of the light novel.
What the fuck?
1 singular chapter.
Okay, so they annoyed them for 1 chapter and they called it a day. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
you put effort and you put production into making 8 full fucking episodes of Endless 8.
Yep.
What
In
the hell?
book, that 1 chapter only covers the last loop the characters do. Like the one where they break everything. If you're watching Groundhog Day, it's the day that he does everything right, and then they leave. But in the anime, they decided to do 8 episodes of them not doing anything, and because unlike Groundhog Day, none of the characters actually remember the fact that they're in a time loop, they only find out about it at the very end, and then the episode ends. So it pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, I can see
And what's
that.
sad is I get what they were going for. They wanted the audience to actually feel like they were also stuck in the time loop,
And
which
it
was
worked.
an interesting idea. But the thing is, 8 fucking episodes was too much. You could, at most, you should have done 3. 1 episode where they go through the first episode, they go through the loop. Second episode, they go through the loop again and realize, oh shit, we're in a time loop. What do? They don't know what to do, so the episode ends. Third episode, they realize, oh shit, we're in a time loop. How many times have we gone through this? We need to figure out what to do and get out of this, and then they do, and then it's over.
Yeah,
that's
that
what
would have
they
been.
should have done. But
That
they
would have
didn't.
been really. I feel like that would have actually given them a hell of a lot of praise for like the type of storytelling that it is. Like I think people would have actually loved that concept. Just been like, well, it's the same thing 3 times, and you could call it filler, but also it's a clever way to do it. You'd have people that would defend Endless 8 in that situation. Here, no.
It's
No.
I can't defend it.
No.
No.
Especially when that ended up
it's
taking
interesting to
up
watch through like
most
one
of season
time,
2.
but if you're ever rewatching the show, absolutely fuck no. No.
Maybe watch
And
like
I
the
watched-
last episode of Endless 8.
I think
Yeah,
you
just-
could watch. I think you could watch the first episode of Endless 8, then episode 7, and then episode 8. There
Yep,
you go.
That's all you need.
That's
There
all
you
you
go.
need.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
that
you
works.
can skip to the end, and then you can just keep watching the show normally, and then you never have to think about it again.
Actually, funny, dude. I just realized. So you know how like it's become kind of a trend to just release the entirety of an entire series onto Netflix, and then you binge the whole thing. I
Yep.
just realized we're never going to have a situation like Endless 8 again if that becomes the norm.
No,
Like-
because studios and streaming websites forgot what episodic storytelling is.
Mhm.
They just release it all in one big chunk and treat it like it's like an 8-hour movie, and then that's it.
Right. So, like, you can't have an
Which,
Endless
on
8
the other
scenario 'cause
hand, it's
there
nice
is no
that we have
episodic.
more serialized stuff now, because when episodic television was the norm, it was harder to do that. Because you could tune in one week, and if it was a serialized story going on, you might be like, wait, what's going on? Didn't see the past couple episodes. I don't know what's happening. I'm lost. So,
Yeah, it has
so
its
it's nice
plus
that
and
we get more
minuses,
serialized
yeah.
story. But on the one hand, I don't think that means we need to completely get rid of episodic storytelling too.
Hmm.
There was merit and to that too. We
Yeah.
can have both.
Yeah, I suppose. Why not both?
Why not both? Because there are some stories and series where I think where the episodic format does work better. Case in
Oh,
point,
no.
Kirby right back at you.
Guys, Owen says, make sure you do a good job. The sand gets everywhere when you let it. Stop. Don't. I see where you're going with that. Cut it out.
Not.
I hate sand.
Yeah.
Are you saying that he should execute Order 66 on that particular train of thought?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
What is also sad about Haruhi Suzumiya, the anime, is the Endless 8 was so bad that like when that happened, the series, like the last Hail Mary for the series was the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya movie, which came out after and is genuinely fantastic. Like,
Yes.
really, really, really fucking good. Incredible movie. And even that couldn't save it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So, hot take. I don't think that's the reason the series stopped. It's
Okay.
easy to
Really?
blame. It's easy to blame Endless 8 because of how controversial and fun to talk about Endless 8 is, but I don't believe that's the actual reason the series stopped being made.
Okay.
The actual reason is a lot simpler and a lot more stupid.
Isn't it always?
Yeah, so the actual reason is because pretty much every single anime in existence is essentially just a commercial for whatever new book the company has coming out, right? Like,
Yeah.
like as a thought experiment, I would love to hear any one of you come up with any sort of anime that was actually made specifically just to be an anime, and doesn't have
I don't
any.
know. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened there. Pierce, can you start over?
Okay. As a thought experiment, name me one anime that was made specifically just to be an anime series and was not built to be an adaptation of an existing novel or manga or video game or other thing.
Like, current or from back then?
Name one. Doesn't matter when.
Madoka Magica.
Okay, besides Madoka Magica, because Madoka... Actually, wait, hang on. Didn't Madoka Magica have a manga at the same time?
It had a manga, but it wasn't the same story. It was a completely different story with completely different characters.
But it had a book releasing around the same time as the anime.
Yeah, it was just an unrelated. It was a manga, unrelated manga story in the same universe.
But it had a manga coming out at the same time as the anime that they could use for cross promotion.
I don't remember if it was at the same time or just like after it, or I don't think it was.
And it had a novelization by Nitro Plus released at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So
But it is technically an original anime.
it's anime first, but there still are other things that were built to tie into it.
Okay.
It was not just the anime.
Okay.
But that is close.
I
The
haven't
closest I
watched.
can think of is something like, I want to say something like Your Name or any of Makoto Shinkai or Hayao Miyazaki movies, like Nausicaa
Yeah,
or
movies,
things like
yeah.
that. But even then, they still had to create light novel or manga versions in order to get those movies greenlit.
Interesting.
There is a light novel version of Your Name, and there is a manga version of Nausicaa. So, moral of the story is that anime is always a commercial for something else. It's never just made on its own. And in the case of Haruhi, it's made to advertise the light novels because the people who fund the anime are Kadokawa, who are a book publisher, and they want to sell more books. So they make the anime to get people to buy more books. And the problem is, the author of the series is just really, really lazy. And that's not me saying that, that's himself saying that in the most recent Haruhi book, in his afterword, where he apologizes for taking literal years to write the thing.
Honestly,
Maddie says, what about Yuki Yuna as a hero? What is that?
I've never even heard of that.
I've never heard of that either.
Interesting. Also, while you guys were talking, I found out that like my audio for the gameplay has been cutting out, and I found out why. It's because apparently Windows decided on one of its updates that it wanted to go and replace my audio settings with new ones that have audio enhancement.
Oh,
So it's
jeez.
like, oh, we're going to make the assumption that this audio input that you put in here is a voice input. So if we hear stuff that sounds like background noise, we're just going to filter that out for you.
To answer your question
How
about
thoughtful.
Yuki Yuna is a hero, there's a PS Vita game.
Oh,
There's a PS Vita game and light novel and manga series.
Okay.
dang it.
So, sorry.
Okay. So volume. Okay, so I'm looking at the Haruhi Suzumiya light novels. The final light novel. Well, actually, the final light novel for 9 years. So volume 11 was released in May of 2011. And then volume 12 was released in November 2020, so there was a 9-year gap in between them. So at the time the anime was being made, the most recent one would have been, volume 11 from 2011. And then the anime series was
Up after 2011.
when did it air? The anime series aired from 2006 to 2009.
Season 1 was 2006, Season 2 was 2009, the movie was 2010.
Okay.
So
So
around the
there
same
had
time
not
as
been-
as the light novel.
Yeah. So it had not. So yeah, it would. They were. There was new books at the
Yeah,
time. Books
at the
coming
time,
out
but
at
the
the
rate
time.
of the new books coming out started slowing way down. Because if you look at the releases for the previous ones, volumes 1, 2, and 3 all came out in the same year. Volumes 4 and 5 were both the same year, and volumes 6 and 7 were also the same year. And then suddenly it starts getting way slower.
I see.
So because of that, because the rate of new books coming out started just slowing way down, the company making the who was funding the anime, who makes the books, didn't see a point in making it. And the reason why they did that spin-off series is because that spin-off series is based on a different manga written by a different author who knows how to keep a consistent schedule.
Yeah,
And-
yeah. I was like, why is there that doesn't make sense. I did always wonder, like, there was this spin-off manga with the about Nagato from the other timeline, from the other universe in the disappearance timeline, and I'm like, why did this get an anime adaptation?
That's
I guess
why
it
it's
was-
because they had new books of that coming out, and those were coming out consistently enough for it to make sense.
That's funny.
Yep.
Kind of sad, but funny.
Yeah, so that's the actual reason why. It's because they don't have a new book to advertise with, because all anime is a commercial. Once you realize that all anime is a commercial, things start making a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I see. And Maddie in the chat says, I would mention SAO, but the last time I did, I got low-key jumped and clowned on board. For the
Because
record,
SAO was terrible.
look,
'cause SAO was
all
terrible.
right,
SAO
okay.
is objectively terrible, yeah.
Okay. I was just about to say, hey, we're not going to jump on you. And cut to immediately.
I'm not jumping on
everybody
you,
jumps
I'm jumping on SAO for being terrible.
Right. I think
I
for
mean,
me, it's kind of one of
that's
those.
okay, because if it's fine if it introduced you to anime, because then you were introduced to other anime that were actually good.
Yeah, and it's
Hey,
okay
there we
for
go.
things that are terrible to exist. I mean, late night TV and KFC exist for a reason, but you know, it's okay.
If you want SAO but good, SAO abridged by something Witty Productions on YouTube. It's literally SAO but good.
Or Log Horizon as well.
I've not watched Log Horizon. Heard of it
It's
though.
pretty good. It's not bad.
Oh fuck! No, that really got me because my mom watches late night TV shows.
I'm sorry.
And oh no, none taken. And I sit there, I sit there, and I'm like, look, okay, I'm all for Stephen Colbert and all that jazz, but oh my god, this is just, this is
What
not-
even is late night TV now? I feel like the only things that are shown late night are just like reruns of old shows.
late night TV
Yeah,
is
pretty much.
basically like late night television shows for me. It's like all of those shows where it's just like, oh, it's some sort of a big time presenter person who comes up on stage, makes some jokes, say my guest tonight is such and such person from this one novel thingy. And then also the really late night stuff where it's literally just scam ads and like generative AI bullcrap.
Yes.
I love just silence in the room, just like, well, he didn't lie.
Yeah. No lies detected.
It's like, correct. Next. I don't know.
There are good anime
I haven't
out there that are not Sword Art Online.
Mhm.
But I do think if you were introduced to anime through Sword Art Online, please watch Sword Art Online abridged by Something Witty Productions on YouTube. It's literally SAO but good. They just
It is.
made SAO good. They just fixed SAO and made it funny. It's not
Yes.
what you think. It's not what you think. Oh, you think a bridge series is just like a dumb fan dub comedy goofy thing. No, it's literally they just fixed SAO but made it funny.
They
That's
made
what
a
they
lot
did.
of structural plot changes that actually make it way better, and they also make the characters way funner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want
the-
people to stop looking at like a bridge series as being some sort of like lowbrow art or something. Look, at a certain point, yeah, they work. But I feel like there's a lot of abridged series out there that actually do a really good job of not only telling you the story, but doing it in a way that's a lot more palatable for most audiences. And like,
Yes.
can actually potentially improve stuff. Like, a lot
Yeah.
of people champion DBZ abridged, and like, as much as a fan of like DBZ I was growing up, I fully admit that show is like very hackneyed and schlock.
It
you
started out hackneyed and schlock, but towards the end there, it actually got really freaking good. Like, legit.
Oh, yeah,
Drive
right.
a Dodge!
Well, I do like when they call back to some of their older jokes for sure. Why?
Phoenix, did you not know going into Venture Brothers that it was a very adult series? Venture Brothers is very
Oh,
adult.
yeah.
Yes,
Venture Bros is
Brothers is
very
very adult.
Also, I highly recommend watching Steins Gate because it's a really good show.
That's another one that's been on my radar for a while. Is that one based on a visual novel or is
Yep,
am I
visual
thinking
novel.
something else? Am I thinking something
Visual
else?
novel.
Yeah.
If your children are death prone, keep a few clones around. Speaking of which, put them back in the clone pods. Their ears are probably burning.
I don't think Steins Gate has clones in it. I don't think that's. the
I was
show.
quoting Venture Brothers, but you guys.
Oh, yeah.
But you guys keep going with what you're doing.
I need to rewatch Venture Brothers.
I'm sorry for staying
been
on
so-
topic. Okay.
Sorry, hey. The conversations go really fast around here.
Maddie Mystery, yeah, bridge fair concept of being stuck in a digital fantasy land or video game and how they work with that. Again, watch Sword Art Online abridged by Something Witty Productions.
Or,
They
I
take
mean,
the-
that's a
they
trope
take the
that
concept and
exists
make it
in
work.
anime pretty hardcore. You could probably
Oh, yeah,
find
there's
another
been-
anime that does that.
There's been
Or,
tons of anime
Here's,
with
here's
that
another
concept.
idea about characters stuck in a video game who can't leave. The Amazing Digital Circus.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good one.
I'm
It's
just
entirely
saying.
it's been serialized completely. You should go watch it.
Guys stuck in internet?
I'm just saying it counts.
It does.
You know what? The more I think about it, I'm more like, yeah, and you know what? You know what? Digital Circus has an official manga adaptation.
Yeah.
and is
I know
rather
that.
popular in Japan with lots of like Japanese exclusive merch and pop-up shops. And I'm starting to think like, you know what, that makes sense. It's how many anime have we and light novels and stuff have we had about people being trapped in a video game or trapped in the internet?
So
and
many.
also it's yeah.
And that also indirectly led to the popularity of the isekai genre.
Yep.
Yep. Anyone remember Dot Hack?
I know the name Dot Hack.
It was one of the
I remember reading
first.
Dot Hack Legend of the Twilight. I thought it was kind of weird, honestly.
Yeah, that was like the sequel. It was like a spin-off sequel thing. The original Dot Hack is called Dot Hack Sign, and it was one of the first like it's anime that takes place inside a video game.
Okay.
And we're in the video game world.
I don't remember the PBS show Cyber Chase.
Yes. I
think
do.
of
I
that
know
one,
I know of it, but I don't think I've ever seen a single episode.
I think
I
I
think
watched
of that
like
when
a
I
couple.
think of Sword Art Online, and I think it's very funny.
I'm just imagining the Sword Art Online like theme playing over Cyber Chase now. Da 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 da.
Yeah, Phoenix, that's why you research things before you go and watch them. Which I learned that the hard way earlier this week with a movie. So there is a movie that has been talked about quite and mentioned quite a lot in the Digital Circus fandom recently, mostly since the finale. It was a movie released by A24 called I Saw the TV Glow. And I know basically nothing about this movie other than it was getting talked about a lot in the Digital Circus fandom and apparently involved a trans femme character that people were like comparing to Jax. And so I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty interesting. I'm going to look up nothing else about this movie and go in completely blind.
Uh-oh.
That was a bad idea. Because as it turns out, so me and my in my ignorance expected to go into this movie being like, oh yeah, so if people are comparing it to Digital Circus, it probably has like a similar kind of bittersweet ending, right? Where it's like, you know, it's not entirely horrible and depressing and upsetting and with theme with in a way that is extremely distressing to me specifically. No. It does not have. It has an ending that is way more tragic and upsetting than what happens to Jackson Digital Circus.
Oh. No.
And it hit home really hard for me, and I was incredibly frazzled and upset. I could not sleep the whole night. I had to basically have a friend just like talk to me the whole night until I managed to collapse at like 6 or 7 a.m. because I was just like, this is literally my worst nightmare.
I'm sending you a digital hug in whatever way I possibly can. Good lord.
Yes.
Thank you. And the sad thing is, the movie was really, really fucking good. Like, it was really good. It's incredible movie. It was just unbelievably tragic and upsetting. I was really not okay after watching it. Like, I'm glad that I watched it and it was great and I would recommend it, but, please research it before you go in, especially if you are a trans person who is not able basically currently like forced in the closet and not able to transition or get gender affirming care in the way that you would currently really, really like to. And you are scared and worried that you might not ever get that opportunity to be your real self. In that case, please be extremely careful and know what you're getting into.
Oh yeah, this is one of the things that like makes me glad about the rating system of movies and like just the fact that there are reviewers out there that are willing to make full-on synopsises of things.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's if you're like me and you are and that is your situation, it is very not, the ending is very not fun. and it messed with me quite. It messed me up pretty bad for a little while, but I'm okay. I'm okay now.
I'm sorry, Cecil.
It's all right.
Yeah, I don't got much to say about that aside from gross. That sucks.
Again, it's a really, really good movie, and the ending is very effective. And it's just like, this is why it's important for people to be themselves and be able to get the care that they need and make decisions about their own life and be who they want to be, and not be judged for it or have to worry about, the burden that they're placing on anybody else because it's their life and they should be able to live it how they want and be happy. It's very, very, very good. It's a very important movie, I think, about, and realizing this is why we need to be kind to trans people and allow them to live in the way that makes them happy. But it's just a very upsetting movie.
Now, I don't think I've ever had a movie affect me that much. Then again, I'm a little bit of a lightweight, and I am very careful about what I go watch. So, that's to be expected. I don't know. Has anything ever impacted anybody else in a similar way, or even better? If something has affected you in a positive way. I'd like to know about that. Oh, cute dragon, I said with joy, then traumatized by how dragon is piloted. Oh. Terror.
Maddie said that they saw Digital Circus finale in theaters. So did I. That affected me in a good way.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that they put they really framed the ending in an extremely positive way. It was basically the best case scenario you possibly could have had given the circumstances. Is what I think.
It was an ending that felt it felt earned.
Mm-hmm.
It did feel,
Right.
yeah, and so a lot of people don't like the state that the characters ended up in ultimately, but I feel like that was very well especially after I went back and rewatched the whole series. I feel like that was very well set up and very well foreshadowed and just was naturally made a lot of sense.
Yes.
It also fit the themes the show was going for.
It fit the themes, also fit the themes the show was going for, and the fact that is portrayed as not hopeless, and there is still, and even though there is, it's still a bittersweet kind of ending because it's not really the ideal situation that anybody really would have wanted. It's not the perfect outcome, but it's the right outcome.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a very make lemonade out of lemons thing. What was that?
I would be perfectly okay with clones of my consciousness.
I mean, would you be okay
Yeah,
being
if
a
I
clone
found out
consciousness in a computer?
I mean, you wouldn't
I
have to
think
worry
I'd be
about
okay
taxes
with it.
ever again.
Oh, yeah, if I knew I was a clone.
Yeah. Yeah, if somebody came up to me tomorrow and said oh, you're a clone, and I'm like, wait, really? And I'm like, yeah, you're a clone, and I'm like, oh, okay. Good to know, I guess. That doesn't actually really change anything.
I would ask
But I
the
guess it'd be
question
good to know.
okay, does that make any difference on my life?
It doesn't actually matter that much.
And if the answer is no, I'd just be like, oh, all right, whatever. Hopefully they're happy wherever they are. Jesus.
Yeah.
Can you give my clones a good body so that maybe I can have some competent coworkers?
Either that, I would just be like, okay, so if you made a clone of me, can you make another one just so that there's a spare set of body parts and knock that one out? I know there's an entire movie plot based on that, but
And it is, and I know a lot of people specifically don't like the fact that that's I hate the fact that they're just digital clones, and it's it doesn't really make that much of a difference though, because it's the same outcome is if they could never leave, essentially. If there was always a question of was it even possible to escape, and the answer ended up being no. But I think that's kind of a better scenario than if they were actually just trapped in there forever and could never leave because the original selves are still out there in the real world, just living life and doing their thing, and they even get to find out what their original selves are up to and see them do their thing.
Right.
So they get to live their own lives inside the digital world while their original selves go and live their own lives, and I think that's nice.
I think they did a good job of making it clear that, like, you know, that there was that scene where I think it was Kane who wanted to call Pomni Abigail, and Pomni instead was just like, Abigail's out there, I'm in here. Call me Pomni. And I think that was a really nice way to put it. It's just
that's a really sweet line.
That's not me.
That was Lizzie Freeman's favorite line from the final episode. She answered that question at the convention that I met her at a couple of weeks ago. And people asked her, what are you guys' favorite lines from episode 9? And she said, Abigail's out there living her best life, and here I'm just Pomni. And it's like, oh, that's so sweet.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's a very grounded way to look at it. You know, it's just like... Actually,
and it's a better resolution than the ending to the Aincrad arc in Sword Art Online. Yes, sorry, I'm still not done with that.
No, go off, King.
Okay, everyone here knows the premise of Sword Art Online, so I'm not spoiling anything, right?
Yep.
I don't know anything about Sword Art Online.
Okay, they play it via...
In the year 2026, do you genuinely give a shit about spoilers for Sword Art Online?
No one should.
Sorry, the volume on my game just spiked. I didn't hear you. Say again?
In the year 2026, do you genuinely give a shit about spoilers for Sword Art Online?
Oh, hell no. I don't care.
Okay, awesome. So, the premise of Sword Art Online, for people who haven't seen it or heard of it somehow, is there's this really popular MMO, and the game just started. 10,000 people log in on opening day. That's considered a success for the games for some reason. And then the director of the game shows up and says, hey, guess what? I disabled the logout function. So everyone who's in this game, you're stuck here until you figure out how to actually complete it. And also, if you die in the game, then the headset you're all wearing will fry your brain and you'll die in real life as well. So have fun with that. And so it's all these characters trying to figure out how to get up 100 floors of this giant castle that the entire game takes place in, and then finish the MMO so they can all leave. And at the end of the first season, then they come across the director of the game again, and they ask him, hey man, why'd you do it? Why did you set up this whole crazy death game scenario? And do you want to know what his genuine answer is?
Because I thought it would be funny.
That would have been a better explanation than the one he gives. That genuinely would have been an improvement.
He doesn't give an explanation. He's like, I don't know.
The answer is, it's been so long, I forgot.
Of course. Yep.
So he might as well have just said for fun.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Saying for fun lol would have genuinely been better than I don't know, I forgot lol.
Because funny lol.
Yeah. So, in SAO Abridged, they had to actually come up with an explanation because there wasn't one, and the explanation they came up with is actually perfect.
I know, I was about to mention it. I did this because of Metacritic.
Yep.
And they're like, and the heroes are like, what? And he's like, so we were crunching to finish the game before release, and it wasn't finished. And we thought if we released it in the state that it would get horrible reviews on Metacritic, and we wouldn't get paid as well. So, I thought, so I hadn't slept in like a week because I'd been crunching to finish the game. I thought, you know what would be a great idea and would get us better reviews if I trapped everyone in the game to and made it so if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Actually, them dying in the game, you die for real thing, that was actually a glitch caused by them crunching, and they did not fix it, and they figured the solution was just to triple and quadruple down.
Yep.
Because none of them were thinking straight because they were crunching and so sleep deprived.
So basically, the entirety of SAO Abridged...
where if you die in the game, you die in real life, so we'll make it a feature. There we go. There we go.
So the entirety of SAO Abridged is basically a commentary on the video game industry as a whole right now.
It's like the video the story happens and the villain becomes the villain because of crunch culture. Yeah.
And the villain explains, like, yeah, look, we tried running it by people, and they said, man, just release it. No one's gonna notice a few glitches. And then the guy says, fuck you, Bethesda. The game was published by Bethesda. That's the explanation, and that's why the game is so terrible. And they also use that explanation of the game being crunched and having a bunch of bugs and being terrible to explain away a bunch of plot holes and inconsistencies. Oh, it's because the game's glitched and broken and nothing makes sense.
Dog. What the fuck?
It's
And it works so
clever.
well.
That works.
It's so
what
good.
the hell?
Like I said, SAO Bridge is just SAO but good. They fixed it. They fixed the show.
Yep.
Dang.
And then when they do the next story arc, which they're still working on, the explanation for that game is that it was published by Ubisoft and it runs through Uplay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, it's really, really funny.
Oh, gross. Now it's Ubisoft Connect.
Yep.
Hate them. There we go. This place is way too bright. I think I cleaned it too well. Alright. Man, okay. I'm trying to think, like, this whole conversation has made me think about, like, what else technically counts as an isekai. So many things are.
Coraline.
Coraline is Coraline is an isekai. Yep.
Yep. And you know what
Agreed.
is also, speaking of Coraline, a friend of mine who is a really big you're a Jim Henson Muppets fan. Have you ever heard of a movie called Mirror Mask?
Mirror Mask.
I've
I'll
heard
look
the
that up
name,
real quick,
weirdly
actually.
enough.
It was a movie it was one of the last movies made by the Jim Henson Company in the mid 2000s, I believe. That was done with CGI rather than puppets.
Oh.
And it was written
Ooh,
by
okay.
Neil Gaiman, the guy who wrote Coraline.
Interesting.
And
All right.
it's a very, very weird movie, but it has really awesome art direction and aesthetic. You could just watch the whole movie on mute, and it's fascinating. It doesn't look like anything else that I have ever seen. It's really, really cool. It just really, really weird and fascinating looking. Even though the story is, and the thing about the story is that it's no Labyrinth or Coraline, but the thing is that it's basically Coraline. The story is the story is written by the guy who made Coraline, and the story is basically just Coraline. There's this girl, and she's kind of weird, and she's unhappy with her life and her family, so she gets isekai'd into another world where an evil doppelganger of her mother with completely blacked out eyes tries to kidnap her and keep her in that world forever and give her completely blacked out eyes.
Terrifying.
And it's
Also,
just Coraline.
Sounds an awful lot like Coraline.
It's just Coraline.
Yeah, it sounds like Coraline. Here, there's a picture
It's
that I
Coraline,
found
but
on the
infinitely,
Google.
but it's Coraline, but way fucking weirder.
Good fucking god. I've never heard of this, and buddy in the background,
Hold on, I got a clip from it.
What the fuck?
I got a clip from it. This movie is kind of obscure now, and I don't think anybody really cares about it, so I don't think you're gonna get content
you think
ID.
so? You think so? Copyright is another thing entirely, though.
I don't know. It's a pretty short clip, and I think this movie is kind of off the radar enough where you might not get
Sun God, what the fuck is that?
Where you might not get a content ID for. But here's a clip that's just this is the best way I can sum up Mirror Mask.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna. It looks so realistic.
Answer my riddle, and only then you can pass. Fail.
Oh no! 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 I don't like it. Do you guys remember the CG in Spy Kids? It's like if the guys who did the CG for Spy Kids actually wanted to make Nightmare Fuel. Oh,
I think it's like if Courage the Cowardly Dog was a FMV game from like 2004 that on a console that no one owned.
every frame is a nightmare. Ah! Why? That lives rent free in my head now. Oh yeah. I'm gonna see that in my sleep.
But yeah, that's Mirror Mask. Weird ass movie. Made by the Jim Henson Company and the guy who wrote Coraline, basically just making Coraline but on way more drugs.
Now that I've seen that, like, I have a little bit more incentive and interest in watching the Dark Crystal. Because it's just like,
Dark Crystal's great.
Dark Crystal's great, and also like, oh, that's nothing. That's kid gloves.
Yeah.
What? A few creepy, weird puppets? Oh, woe is me. No. How about the oddly realistic CG puppet with the human face? Yeah. Although that does give me like interesting nostalgic pangs from like my childhood when you remember like the commercials of that era where like basically I think somewhere around 2005 to 2009 they just started getting really weird with commercials and like CG was basically all that, and they came up with like weird gross out humor concepts and like just gross out concepts in general that kind of like grabbed your attention. I'm kind of glad that we haven't gone past that, but it has definitely like mellowed out over time. Now, well, okay. On one hand, I'm kind of it was of its time. That being said, though, actually, now that
let me see this. Oh, I've seen this. This was on one of Doug Walker's commercial specials.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's the PlayStation 3 baby commercial.
Yep.
I don't have a YouTube.
I feel like they took the skin off this I feel like Has anyone seen the music video for Daft Punk's Technologic?
Here, give me a second. I can bring up the thing via this window right here. It's cut off a little bit, but
yeah.
Or maybe I can go into theater mode.
The weird robot thing in Daft Punk's Technologic. I think that's just this baby, but they just took the skin off. They just took the skin off this baby, and that's the robot from Daft Punk's Technologic.
What the hell were they smoking? Also, Spider-Man font.
Spider-Man font.
I miss the PS3 era.
I do too.
Yeah, things just seemed a little bit
when
more
they're
interesting.
Like, here's how you share PlayStation games.
When you bought games
Step
and they
one,
worked and also
sharing the game.
Was free.
Mm-hmm.
You hand the game to someone. There you go.
And
Squid Gal comes in and is immediately just like, oh, hell no.
And Sony made more than one game every 5 years.
Yep.
Speaking of, why the heck are the Infamous games still stuck on PS3?
Huh. Never thought about that, actually.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were.
You're right.
The only one that's playable on PS4 is Infamous Second Son. Infamous 1 and 2 and Festival of Blood are still stuck on PS3.
I remember Infamous being, like, such a big deal back in the day. It's weird that, like, it's so landlocked to one console.
Yeah, and Infamous Festival of Blood was PSN only. It never got a physical release, so I hope you have it downloaded on your PS3, because you're not going to be able to get it anymore in a month.
Yep. Good God. Again, it's times like these I'm very happy for archivists, because they're the only way that we would be able to experience certain stuff like this.
Yep. Anyway, RPCS3 is your friend. What? What? I said nothing. Okay.
Speaking of which, I was going to mention this a little bit earlier when we were talking about firmware. I may or may not have been looking into some stuff related to RCP3S and all that jazz. And while I was looking into it, I was just like, oh, but they're looking for you to have firmware and stuff, and like, I don't really have a PlayStation console, so like I can't really get firmware for it. So like, what am I supposed to do? Guess I'm gonna have to go out and like rent a console or like go buy one. I mean, a PlayStation 3 nowadays probably isn't too expensive, right? Like you could probably get one for like I would say actually $150. But then again, like, do I need to get a very specific set of firmware that only works for like specific PS3 consoles? And then I looked it up and I found out that their firmware is like fully available on their website.
Yeah, you can get the official firmware updates straight from Sony servers, and it's no problem.
Fully available. It's just
Also,
there.
PS3 consoles are actually surprisingly like still available. Like
Yeah, right.
Like if you go to eBay, they're really affordable right now. You can buy a PS3 with the controller, and it's like $120.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if I wanted to
not
play
bad.
off like a physical PlayStation, like I could. But again, it's just funny that I'm so used to Nintendo being like, no, closed ecosystem. You can't look at the goods. Meanwhile, PlayStation is like, oh, what's that? You need to flash a new bit of like firmware on your PlayStation, and you need the firmware updater. Okay, here you go.
Well, the reason for that is because when the PS3 first launched, Sony initially was advertising, oh yeah, the PS3, it's like a supercomputer. You can install Linux on this thing. And
That's right.
And then people started doing that, and then Sony was like, wait, no, not like that. Don't do that, please. And
Right, they were like, wait, why
they
are you
tried
hacking
to
the
remove
planet?
it.
Stop hacking the planet.
And they tried to remove the feature in later PS3 firmware updates. And
then people took them to court, being like, no, you promised this, assholes. And
people
then they
took them
won.
to court, but also there was this hacker group called Anonymous, and they were like, hey, Sony, we see what you're doing, and we think it's anti-consumer, so guess what we just did? Oh, what's that? Is that the PlayStation Network? Oh,
I
that
remember
was
that. Yeah.
That was a fun service, past tense. And
Yeah.
so they shut it down for 2 weeks.
Oh, like people never learn.
It was very, very funny because that E3, Sony had to begin their press event, and instead of saying like, hey everybody, we're PlayStation, we have all these cool games, get hype, they had to begin, and it began with all of them saying, oh my god, we are so sorry for what just happened.
Yep.
It was really funny.
Yeah, one gigantic round. I feel like it was 40 full fucking minutes of them just apologizing.
Yeah.
And like apologizing in so many different ways, just being like, okay, so here's what happened, here's what we did, here's what we should have done, we're sorry, we shouldn't have done that, here's what we're going to do in the future, we're so sorry, everybody.
Yeah, and the real icing on the cake is that if you did have a PS3 at the time, when Sony did finally bring the PSN back up and get things working again, they had to do like some severe damage control. So they were like, okay, everybody, we don't charge for online already, so what we're going to do is everyone gets to pick 2 games that are on the PlayStation Store, and we'll just give them to you for free.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually pretty good. I got Infamous for free that way.
Rad.
And
I think I did too. I don't know
And,
if I never played it much though. I tried it out for a couple minutes and then forgot it existed.
that's okay. But after
does,
that, Sony actually had a really, really good year for 2011 because 2011 was just a really awesome year for games in general. So it was a great year for Sony to get hacked because they were able to bounce back very, very easily.
Well, good for them, but also stop doing what you're doing right now.
Also that, yeah, because
Yeah,
the thing about the games coming out right now is that Sony doesn't have anything.
Mm-hmm. So, you know,
the
Can we
amount
just
of games
fire
released
everyone?
in 2011, there was a lot of good shit. Just on PlayStation, there was Portal 2, Skyrim, Batman Arkham City, Mass Effect 2, the Eco and Shadow of the Colossus collection, Uncharted 3, Rayman Origins. Should I go on?
I'm so goddamn upset that, like, Mass Effect is a property that is owned by frickin' EA.
Oh, also Sonic Generations. That was also that same year,
Ooh, Sonic Generations. Nice.
which actually launched the same day as Uncharted 3.
Nice.
Oh, they should have had Sonic and Nathan Drake going on like an adventure together. Like how when Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons came out on the same day, everybody was drawing Isabelle and the Doomslayer hanging out.
They should
Yeah,
have
that'd
done
been
that.
fun.
They could have done a thing where Sonic and Nathan Drake got Subway together.
Subway, we're champions eat.
That was so dumb.
Fuck. I love that. No, here's the. I love commercialism like that. Like, if you're going to be all like commercial and stupid, go all out with it. Okay, do something really dumb. And like, it's. I was gonna complain about this a little bit earlier when we were talking about commercials. Then commercials are so freaking like polished and clean nowadays that like there's just nothing to them. Like when I go over to my folks' place, they still have cable, and I'll see all the commercials they have there. It is the most milquetoast, stupid shit, and like none of it's funny, none of it is interesting. It's just like
because none of them are willing to actually take a risk and say anything because they don't want to risk like making someone not want to buy their product.
Right, it's
But
like we can't alienate
really
a
standard and
single
bland.
person, not one person. We need to leave out. So we just need to make our commercials like, crowdsourced, and like, we need to make sure that it's available to everybody and that everybody agrees with it.
Focus tested to death.
But the
Focus
problem
test,
with
focus
that is
test,
that if
focus test.
everyone's focus tested to death, all the commercials are exactly the same and none of them stand out, which is the point of a commercial.
Mm-hmm. Right.
To stand out and make someone want to buy your thing.
Yeah, no, the scene for commercials is just absolutely rough. And that's why I'm very thankful for a whole lot of like indie developers and stuff nowadays who like they are actively not only making really fun things that they want to make, but on top of that, they're making commercials that actually lean into the strengths of what they're making, and they're making stuff that actually gets your attention.
I will say I've seen a lot of people like shitting on Glitch's merch ads lately on Twitter for some reason, and I'm just like, the people. It's like they post like the thing with Grunkle Stan from that one episode of Gravity Falls. Tails designed to sell my merchandise, and it's like, yeah, but they're good,
Yeah, it's
actually
a
good
commercial,
ads.
and-
Yeah,
they're
but
funny.
they're funny. And I like them. I prefer this.
You know how? Yeah, you know how many fanfics? Just the one there was this one Digital Circus ad that came out after the finale where Kane has a nightmare that everybody abstracts, and then he gets all sad and freaked out, and he goes to Pomni and is like, "You're not planning to abstract anytime, are you?" And she's like, No plans currently." And he's like, "Oh, okay, good, bye, have a good night." And it's very sad and sweet, and I wish Pomni had just like given him a big hug.
Yeah.
You know how many fanfics that has spawned? That spawned a lot of fanfics and fan art already because people just want Kane to give Kane a hug.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there are so many memes that exist in pop culture today that are thanks for, like, really old, stupid, weird... Let's talk about the berries and cream guy. You want to talk about the berries and cream guy? Like, Jesus Christ. We don't get that anymore because nobody wants to make, like, quirky commercials or something that might, like, throw people off.
That's why I love Dog Walker's commercial specials. I think those are some of the best Nostalgia Critic episodes, are just him talking about all these commercials.
I like
'Cause he
when
goes
discovered
through-
who Sega to Sanshiro is.
Yeah, the Sega to Sanshiro.
Sanshiro. Yeah.
He does. There isn't one of them where he talks about the berries and cream guy. There is one where there's a very disturbing ice cream ad
Yep.
called Little Baby's Ice Cream. It's just like this. Well, this was designed to be as terrifying as possible, and I guess I guess it's memorable.
Right. Like, well,
if you
I
want people to
remember
be
the name
scared
Little Baby's
shitless
Ice
into buying
Cream.
your ice cream.
Like, but the question is, is Little Baby's Ice Cream a thing anymore? Answer, no. But I know their name, and I guess that's good enough. No, not that. I feel so disturbed, says Squid. Yep.
I
It's
like
a
the one
thing.
with the house hippo.
What now?
Oh, the House Hippo one was that's really good.
It was
House
a
hippo?
Canadian PS. It was this
Oh, right.
Canadian
Nope, I remember
PSA
now.
talking about like not believing everything you see on TV.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it took me a minute, but yeah. Don't
That
believe
was a good
everything
one.
you say on TV. And yet there were people that did believe the House Hippo was an actual thing. And people were like, no, it's not. Guys,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's because we wish it was a thing. We wish we had a tiny hippo that could live in your house.
I know one person that I've been following for like, I've been following their stuff for 15 years, and like one of the well-known things about them is that they're just super ridiculously into hippos. So like everyone sends them every bit of hippo news that ever happened. Like the moment Moo Dang was born in the zoo, that their inbox exploded, and then like, it was basically a Chernobyl level like nuclear meltdown when Moo Dang was born. So like
Moo Dang was basically a house hippo.
yeah, and so like house hippo, holy shit. She knows about house hippo very much. What she would do for a house hippo. Something that like would probably murder most people. You don't think about that, but like hippos are actually pretty violent creatures. They kill.
hold the record for the most people that they kill.
They are one of the most deadly animals on Earth.
Indeed.
Also, we were talking about that ice cream ad and how it's very disturbing, but I know of a potentially even more disturbing ice cream ad. It's actually just one of my favorite ads in general because it feels less like an ad and more like a 30-second Black Mirror episode.
Okay. I'll buy it.
Let me see if I can find it. I'm trying to remember what the brand of the ice cream was. Halo Top. Okay. Yeah, and it was directed by and this commercial was made by a guy named Mike Diva, and he's actually done a bunch of like and this director has actually done like a bunch of like short films and stuff for Adult Swim and other stuff similar to that. And when you see this, you will understand why.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
We'll see whether or not this has any particular problem with Content ID. But here we go.
It shouldn't. It's
right. It's an ad, so you'd like to think maybe
it's an ad.
Hey, dude.
Oh. Hello.
Good morning. It is time for ice cream.
No. No.
What's good? What you...
Eat the ice cream.
Thank you, Fallout Robot. I'll always love you.
Where am I?
Humans require ice cream.
To be fair.
What is this place?
Eat the ice cream.
I don't want any more.
Eat the ice cream.
How long have I been here?
You're so hungry for delicious ice cream.
Get that away from me.
Oh, you just bitch slapped the robot. You don't do that.
Where's Steven?
I know ice cream cone.
Everyone you love is gone. There is only ice cream.
Why? No. Halo Top. We need more information about that. What do you mean everyone is gone? What do you plan? What is your itinerary of what is this? Is this the future for Halo Top? Is this what they're doing? Is this the conspiracy?
It's not over.
What? What do you mean it's not over? What do you mean it's not over?
I think there's something after the logo.
Oh. Okay. I'm in hell! God, that is a Matrix nightmare. Jesus.
I love this ad.
It's just like, well, I want to see my husband again. Please, where's my wife?
Oh, and there's
have no
a
wife,
song.
there is only ice cream.
And there's a song, an original song that it's a little hard to hear, but it does play in the background. And
yeah,
someone
it sounded like
and
it's kind of sounded like Mr. Sandman, Bring Me a Dream, except like,
yeah.
you know, you must consume the ice cream, that kind of thing.
Yeah, someone did post the lyrics in the comments. The song lyrics are, "If you should leave, run away with me. I'll give you ice cream down by the sea. I don't need birds. I don't even need bees. I just need ice cream for you and me. A tasty treat that you must eat. You just need ice cream to feel complete. I don't need love. I don't even need bees. I just need ice cream for you and me. Life is a dream. Let's have a ball, and you'll agree we're fancy free. Everyone's gone since the Great War. It's only me and the machines. I scream for you. I scream for me. I scream for someone to set me free. Humans like me don't breathe or sleep. A little ice cream. That's all we need.
Yeah. See, that's how you do it. Now I'm hungry for Halo Top. You've done your job.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, this is the kind of weird shit that makes me want to buy your product.
Right. You stuck out and you did something that made me go, huh. Well, that's a thing. Yeah, when are you gonna do something like that, Blue Bunny?
I like the commercial Nintendo did for Ocarina of Time 3D.
Oh yeah, I like that one too. The one with like
That one was
Robin
really
Williams in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was wholesome.
that was really awesome.
Dad, you're mixing me up with the princess.
It was really, really sweet.
Yep. Rest in peace, Robin.
I have not seen any other Halo Top commercial, Squid Gal, but I believe you that they had other commercials that were just as weird and insane and brilliant as this. Whoever was there in their market, they just must have had an amazing marketing department.
So that kind of makes me wonder, like, is ice cream specifically just one of those things that, like, it's hard to advertise because you know it's ice cream, you're aware of how ice cream works, so you have to come up with some kind of way to stand out amongst all the different versions of ice cream. So, like, what do you
Yeah,
do?
because like most ice cream is the same, so how do you make it feel different?
Just simple generational trauma
And Robot Apocalypse.
and robots.
Or you ask people what they would do for a Klondike bar.
Yeah,
Zombie
what would you do
apocalypse.
for a Klondike bar?
How far would you go to have this product?
Would you
I'd
kill a man
pay it-
for a Klondike bar?
I know, I just pay $1. Get one out of the vending machine.
But what else
Technically.
would you do for a Klondike bar?
Walk to the vending machine.
I would probably have a job so I can make money so I can go to the vending machine. So I could buy a Klondike bar. Dum-dum. And that's it. I'm not gonna lie though, Klondike bars are freaking awesome.
They are. My family buys them sometimes. They're not like my favorite, but I like them.
Yay. You know, one of the annoying things though is that like I only have a specific set of like places to get ice cream around here. So like, unfortunately, my list of ice creams that I can get is kind of sparing, and the problem with like going out to somewhere like non-local to get ice cream is that like, what are you gonna do about the ice cream? Like, you gonna like bring a freezer with you?
Yeah, depending on how far away it is, you might not be able to transport it. You'd have to like bring a cooler or something.
Yep, that makes me sad. Oh,
We have a couple
oh,
of decent
I forgot that this
local
was
ice
a
cream
thing.
places.
They have
A couple
a
of
floor
pretty
ste-
good local ice
They have
cream
a floor
places.
steamer now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
looks like a metal detector.
Kind
It was
of.
a metal detector for a minute.
What the heck is this? Oh, it's a spinny boy. How do I switch back to my other thing? Oh, there we go. Or no, that's just the extender boy. How does this work? Oh, ooh. Wait a minute. There's a big spinny. There's a triple thing. That's a direct jet of some kind. Oh, found my thing. Medium is nice. Medium is a nice pace. Oh, I'm trying to remember when the last time I had like ice cream that actually rocked my socks was. It's sparing. I haven't gone to a place that like has genuinely like made me fall in love with their ice cream. I think it's
They have a bunch of ice cream places around here, and they're all just kind of the same to me, to be honest.
uh,
Good, but like none of them are just like, wow, this place is so much better than this other place. It's just like, no, it's all good.
Right? It's just like, oh, it's a place to buy ice cream. Right.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of disturbing ice cream ads, this reminded me of, this isn't a real ad, but do you guys remember the first episode of Invader Zim where
Yes.
Dib is chasing Zim through like traffic and they climb up on an ice cream truck and the ice cream truck has a voice coming out of it that's like an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice that goes, "You like ice cream. You need ice cream. You must buy ice cream. Your existence is meaningless without ice cream."
I
Yes.
don't, but that is exactly something Invader Zim would do.
It's one of that's in the first episode and it's just like, yep, this is how you establish a humor style.
No, the thing I remember from Invader Zim that was food related was the pizza place stuff.
Bloaty's Pizza Hog.
Bloaty's Pizza Hut! Bloaty's Pizza Hut! God, it's a nightmare. Doody doody doo! Oh, and then my brain just jumped back to the one commercial for aspirin. You remember that one? Ah, my spine! Oh, there was just so much strange horrorcore stuff.
Zim was, and then their one is like, "Oh, what's that? Diarrhea," and they like turn to the camera very dramatically.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah, Invader Zim had a bunch of gags like that where it was just like here's an insane commercial that Gur is watching on TV or something.
Yep.
I like the episode where there's this episode that Zim isn't even in. It's just Dib, and he tracks down a guy called Chickenfoot, who is just a guy who is stuck in a chicken costume.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he thinks he's like a horrible
That poor
mutant creature. He's just stupid, and he thinks he's become this horrible mutant chicken creature, but he's actually just stuck in a chicken costume. And the whole episode is Dib just trying to prove he's not a real supernatural being.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound
Because
a lot
Dib
like
actually
Zim.
does care about disproving like fake stuff, and so people will like. Poor Dib, he's just like, no, we don't just believe, we're not just crazy people who believe in anything, we also try to disprove the fake stuff, so we can hunt down the real stuff. And then people's like, well, if Chickenfoot isn't real, then the aliens aren't real, because everybody is stupid in Invader Zim.
Yeah.
So, poor Dib. He just couldn't catch a break. But that episode is really funny. I think it's not as popular one, and I think even the crew were like, we're not a huge fan of this episode. Because Zim's not in it, but I really like Dib as a character, and I just think that's a really fun episode with just Dib doing his thing that's not related to Zim for an episode, and you just get just the insanity of the Invader Zim world and how everyone's just kind of crazy and dumb.
Well, like, crazy and dumb is one way to put it. Another way to put it is that I feel like everybody, like, you know, constantly breathes through their mouths because they can't, like, use... Like, they don't have enough brain power to run the nose and the mouth, like, at the same time. You know? Like, every ounce of their brain power is used to just, like, you know... like, they literally have to think in order to, like, run their blood circulation. You know what I mean? That's how stupid these people are.
Yeah, that was always one of the, like, a signature things about Invader Zim. It's just, like, everybody is dumb.
Everyone is stupid.
And
that's a big reason why so many things work in that universe. Like, that's why Zim can hide out the way that he does, because people are... Like, that reminds me of that one scene from Invader Zim when, like, you know, they're doing physicals, and, like, and Zim needed to get a whole bunch of human organs to pass the physical.
Oh, yeah, that's, like, the most iconic episode. Because it's...
and so
who
many
allowed this?
So many
Who
healthy
allowed this?
organs. It's just like... And he's got at least 20 spines.
It's very disturbing. A lot of people were like, when they think a lot of normies are just like, was that even real? How is this real? It's like, Yes, it was. It was
Yep.
very fucked up. It was one of the
And then
most
there's
fucked
the
up
other
episodes
episode
of the
where they
whole
turn
show.
into baloney.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
baloney. Oh fuck, the baloney episode. That was a nightmare episode for me. That was the one
That
where it's just
episode
like,
is a nightmare.
I don't want to become baloney.
Yep, and then the episode ends with them just as baloney, and we never see the resolution to that.
No.
Well, actually, there is a later episode where Dib needs Zim's help with something, and he says, "Hey, come on, man, we teamed up before the baloney thing," and then Zim is like, "You made that up."
Yeah,
so you
so
mean
it's what's
they
even funnier
retconned
is that
as
they
it was
mention
just
it later.
a story they came up with.
Yeah.
So what's funny is that it's like that episode is like we never see the resolution to it, and yet it's brought up, which made me mad because I'm just like, that's lazy. Like you,
Like, how
I
did
hated
they
that
get out of
episode for a
this?
long time just because I thought the ending was lazy. They just didn't come up with a solution to it, so I was just mad that they just didn't have an ending for the episode. So, but then I realized, wait, that's the joke.
Right.
It's like
yeah.
and then it's brought up
the
again
SpongeBob
later.
episode where they become snails. It just happens, and it's creepy, and then they never resolve it, and then it's just
Yeah.
normal by the next episode.
Yeah, and then
And we have
later
no
they
idea
mention it
how.
again. It's like, so there was a resolution to that. Did that happen? How did that resolve itself? We'll never know. That's the joke. And then it's even better in the comics where the Oni Press Invaderism comics that ran for a couple of years. There's this one, I don't know what issue it is off the top of my head. It's one of the earlier ones, but there's where Zim summons like a giant space donkey, and it destroys the Earth. And then in the next panel, it goes the next day, and then it's Zim and Dib on the playground at school, like literally nothing happened, and Dib is like, didn't the world just like explode yesterday? And Zim is like, I don't know.
Yes.
So it's just like, yeah, it's just like, yeah, the world just ends, and then the next day everybody's back to normal. Don't think that's just the kind of show this is.
Yep. I mean,
That's just how Invaderism works.
sometimes you just gotta like. Sometimes you just have to have an episode that's non-canon, or
it's just like plays fast and loose with its canon. It's just like sometimes there's just the world gets destroyed and everything is fine the next day again, and that's the joke.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, they did
Oh,
that with a
man.
bunch of episodes of Grim Adventures.
Yeah,
Grim
Billy
Adventures
and
and Billy and
Mandy.
Mandy did the same thing. Yeah, they did that a lot too, where it's just everybody dies, or is a monster, or something now, or like one episode they go to like some place where like there's these hourglasses, and the hourglasses represent a person's life, and then Billy or somebody like accidentally turns over everybody's hourglasses, so they start aging in reverse until they eventually just disappear out of existence because they age backwards into non-existence.
Yeah.
And then that's just how the episode ends. They all just aged back into nothing.
right. And then the next episode they go.
And
like,
the next episode, everything's fine.
Right. Then the next episode, like the Grim Reaper has the ability to take over their family cat. It's like, and you're like, how did we get here?
Yep. And Billy and Mandy are friends with the Grim Reaper. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, true also. But even Grim in that episode gets his hourglass flipped and aged back to literal non-existence.
Oh yeah, that's right. And he like didn't he just turn into like a pile of bones or something?
He turned into a little baby skeleton and then disappeared.
Because that makes sense.
Yep. And yeah, those episodes were really common pretty early on. I noticed they stopped doing as many of them in the later seasons. I guess because they finally kind of like, maybe they felt like the joke was played out, or something like that.
Like a show as it ages and matures, I do feel like they get more confident in the idea of telling like more detailed and vast stories.
There was a little bit more
characters.
continuity later on too. Like there would actually be like recurring characters and stuff. Like very early on in the show, there's this monster named Nurgle.
Oh yeah.
Who's like this tentacle monster in a suit, and talk about your Tumblr sexy man. And he just I wouldn't even call him evil. He's just a weird guy. He's just a weird lonely tentacle monster guy who lives in the center of the earth, and he's very lonely. So he decides to go on a date with Billy's aunt, and Billy is like, "No, I don't want to marry my aunt." I don't want to have a weird tentacle monster man for an uncle. And he tries to sabotage the date, and it goes poorly, and instead the aunt just falls completely in love with Nurgle, and then they get married, and then Nurgle is just Billy's uncle for the rest of the series. And they even have a kid. He has a cousin. They have a kid, Nurgle Jr., so he's just Billy's cousin, and he's like a half-demon, half-human shapeshifter thing. And yeah, that's just the thing for the rest of the series. And what's really funny is we don't get that many episodes with Nurgle and the Ant where it's just the two of them, but on the couple occasions we do, we just see they're just like a totally normal, loving married couple.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah,
Honestly,
and I love that. This woman bagged herself a tentacle monster husband, and they've been living good. That's my dream right there. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the relationship goal.
Man, what's one of my favorite Billy and Mandy episodes? 'Cause I've got a handful of them.
Mandy smiles and then she breaks the entire universe by doing so.
Oh
Yeah,
I
that
remember
was one of the later ones because that episode is so funny because early in the show, like in this first season, there were many instances of Mandy smiling, usually just like a smug smirk or something like that. But she smiled fairly often, and then but then later in the series that was probably like season 4 or 5 or something. We get that episode where Mandy cannot smile, and if she smiles, it breaks the entire universe, and then everybody is AU'd into Powerpuff Girls. Actually, what happened? Mandy smiles, it breaks the universe, and now everybody's in the Powerpuff Girls universe.
It was really funny.
It was very funny. Made a Billy and Mandy AU ass blog on Tumblr, and this person how grim he was born, and both his parents were skeletons. I had to come up with an explanation. Just any Undertale fan. They'll be able to give you an answer. They'll be able to give you an answer.
What's a fandom that's filled with a bunch of like skeleton hugging bastards? Undertale. I say that as a fan of Undertale and Deltarune, so
Yep.
don't at me. There we go.
Hey, how do you make love to a skeleton? Ask it, I don't know, ask it, Undertale fan.
I'm sure it exists somewhere.
There's a boner joke there that I'm not going to make. I'm just going to say that the joke exists.
Some people took the papyrus date very, very literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's funny is when that happens, Papyrus is like, I'm sorry, let's just be friends, I don't like you that way. And the fandom's like, fuck no.
Yes,
I'm gonna marry the skeleton.
Yep. Yes, you do. I want to smooch his lack of lips. Go fuck yourself. I love Skeleton Man.
Though it's more Sans that Sans is the far more popular of the skeleton bros in terms of who wants to date a skeleton.
Well, Sans is mysterious.
Well, yeah, because Sans is mysterious and badass and chill and cool and has a mysterious backstory and.
Oh well, he's got a dark and serious backstory, and that's
he's got a dark and serious, mysterious backstory, and makes him cool and edgy, even though he's just like the most chill guy ever.
And also his really crazy boss fight in the No Mercy run.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which
so many Undertale AUs. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh,
I have seen fan merch of Undertale AUs. There are so many that they're really popular.
I've read a handful, and they like make my head spin because I'm just like, wow, how did we get from A to B? What the fuck?
Maybe the headcanon the skeletons are genderless. Idea that I like that in the Undertale Deltarune universe all the ghosts are genderless, but then if they they can possess a body, and if they decide to permanently possess a body, they can just pick a gender because that's what was the deal with Metaton. He was a ghost, and then he's like, Alphys make me a body, and then Alphys did, and now he's because he he got the robot body.
Mhm.
And same with Mew Mew, Pink,
Right.
in Deltarune. She's also a ghost who is like, I want to be a cute girl, so I'm a possess this anime girl, this anime girl doll, and now I'm gonna be a cute anime cat girl.
What's
Voiced by
that? The
Hatsune
hopes
Miku.
and dreams of a ton of weebs?
Hopes and Dreams? Is that an Undertale reference? Okay.
Ba-da-da. There.
And then Napstablook is and they're all like siblings or cousins or something. The Mad Dummy, Mew Mew, Ghost, Metaton, and Napstablook. I think they're all related. So Napstablook is the only one who's just like, nah, I'm just cool just being a ghost.
if he became something that wasn't a ghost, I feel like he'd just be like, oh no, this feels weird. I don't like having this skin. Oh god. Oh.
Yup.
What am I doing?
They're all cousins? Oh yeah, that's cute. Yeah, that's cute.
There we go.
Yeah, we love Toby and his trans ghosts.
Toby and his goofy self. Oh god, I was talking in the in like the spoiler den about Deltarune not too long ago. Deltarune Chapter 5's been out for a real long time, so I feel we could probably just talk about that.
Yeah, it's been out long enough. It's been out like a month.
Good lord. No, we were discussing the whole, like, you know, what is Rousey kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've come to the conclusion that Rousey is a flower.
I could see that.
We're fully, like, it's like, oh, okay. So, according to Flowery, flowers are not lighteners or darkeners. They're something in between, and they can see more things than human beings ever could. And meanwhile, we're sitting here being like, wait a second. We're talking about, like, so, like, Rousey is neither a darkener nor a lightener, because obviously he's not a lightener, because if he was, he could be in the real world. He's clearly said that he can't do that. And he's not a traditional darkener, because darkeners can't traverse to, like, random different locations. And yet he can go to whatever.
Well, he is the Darkner Prince, though. He is the Prince of the Darkners.
I guess,
No,
but
like,
also,
Prince
like,
of the Darkners.
he seems to have the ability to just, you know, go between
Travel
wherever
between the
he
Dark
wants.
Worlds, yeah.
And
Yeah.
that seems a little bit funky. Like, Prince or not, like, what makes you the Prince? How can you do that?
Yeah. I could see that. That would make a lot of sense, especially given the Azrael Flowey connection in Undertale.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also heard a really cool theory that Rousey is a book, like a strategy guide for a video game that was owned by Azrael.
Oh, okay.
And I really like that theory. I think that's
It's cool, but then that doesn't explain how he can get to other like dark worlds, though.
that's true,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm looking at what Toby is laying down for, like the context clues that Toby seems to be laying is the idea that flowers are somehow different. So, although that does raise the question of, like, all right, so if flowers are different, then what kind of a flower would he be, and why is he capable of surviving in basically every location? And I'm assuming that, like, Chris is probably carrying Rousey to every single one of these locations. So, like, how is Rousey able to carry him alive to all these locations?
It's a good question. Also, Phoenix says, I made a Billy and Mandy AU a really long time ago that made a crack ship fan child between Grim and Death the Wolf from Last Wish. That's hilarious. Now that's a crossover ship. That's hilarious. Personally, my headcanon was always that, so you know the Boogeyman in Grim Adventures, and how he and Grim kind of hate each other, and are, like, rivals? But in the Big Boogie Adventure movie, he also just like kisses him on the forehead, is kind of like tauntingly and smugly. I think they're toxic exes.
Possibly.
I
Okay.
always thought they were toxic exes. Like, these two dated at some point, and the breakup was very messy. I know some ex-boyfriends when I see them.
Kind of makes me wonder, like, could somebody get on the horn with the original creators and be like, hey, so, clear up a superstition or a rumor that we got here.
Yes Maxwell
or no?
Adams, actually, the creator of Grim Adventures, Maxwell Adams, he has a podcast.
Oh, really?
And yeah, he has a YouTube channel and a podcast that he uploads there. I just found out about it not that long ago, and I've been meaning to check it out. He interviews like a bunch of people that he knows in the animation industry and tells people about, stuff he's worked on and stuff he is working on. He's actually he's working on an indie animated show. He's working on an indie pilot actually now with I forget the name of the studio, just a small studio, but it's called Billy Ends the World. It has nothing to do with Grim Adventures or his Billy. It's just coincidentally he's working with this indie animation studio, and they have a character named Billy, and the pilot is called Billy Ends the World. So I thought it had something to do with Grim Adventures at first. It doesn't. It's a coincidence. But yeah, that looks cool. I think that's really neat. He's getting involved in the indie scene the same way Dana Terrace did with Knights of Guinevere. So
good for him, honestly. That's great. Oh, somebody got offended on the internet? Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, wow, someone got offended on the internet.
Reason to be offended.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Anyway, I've cleaned it up. Everything's all sparkly. Yep, that's the movie. Here's where they all eat.
I do think it's very awkward / So the episode. In Grim Adventures, Grim is very explicitly supposed to be Jamaican. Like,
yes.
his actor is Jamaican, and he has the accent, and then you see his family members, and they are clearly also very Jamaican. They're just skeletons, so...
Right. And there is kind of an awkward thing with that.
There is an episode where they give Grim skin, and he becomes a human briefly, and that human form is not Jamaican.
That's true.
He's very lacking in melanin. He's very lacking in melanation. People have asked why this is, and the creators have answered they thought of this when they were doing the human Grim, and we're going to make him black, as he should be, because he's Jamaican, but then realized, because of his deal with Billy and Mandy, 2 white kids...
Oh, okay.
They didn't want to kind of show that he was technically may or may not be interpreted as a black person owned by 2 white kids.
Wow.
So that's why
why
Grim
was
actually. Yeah. So that they wanted to avoid
have a nice
that.
Day.
They wanted to avoid that potential implication. So that is why that happened. And you know what? Yeah, again, I think that was a good call.
Yep. Nope. I'm fine with that. Also, Pierce has sent a thing in the chat, and it's 14 seconds long. What the heck is this?
Light. An old woman bumped into me in the grocery store, spilled almond milk all over me robe. Now I got to go back to the cleaners. If only someone would do something about Mrs. Bethany Stevenson. Here, I took a picture. Now I got to go back to the cleaners. If only someone...
What is this?
Bethany Stevenson. Here, I took a picture.
It's funny, but what is this?
It's Billy and Mandy, but what if Grim was Light Yagami Shinigami instead of with Billy?
Well, what if instead of Ryuk, Light had Grim?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Huh.
Light, I just really need you to take care of Mrs. Bethany Stevenson. Here's a picture.
Actually, now that I think about, wait a minute. What was the name of the other guy? I'm trying to remember.
Ryuk?
What?
Ryuk? R-Y-U-K?
Ryuk, is that the other demon?
That's the canon one in Death Note, yeah.
Okay. Well, now we need to think about the other side of the coin. Ryuk with Billy and Mandy.
He'd be chill as long as they just keep giving him apples.
Oh yeah, they'd be chill. They just hang out and play video games and feed him apples, and it'd be fun.
Yeah,
they'd
he'd
have a
just
good
be
time.
like, "Hey Billy, I want to play Mario Golf." That's
awesome.
that is a genuine thing that happens in Death Note.
They play Mario Golf?
There's a scene where Ryuk specifically says, "Hey, Light, I want to play Mario Golf." Like he name drops Mario Golf.
That's funny. Cool. Was that in the manga or in the anime?
It's in the manga. In the anime, he just says, "I want to play video games." But
oh, okay. Oh, you can get away with so much stuff in manga.
But yeah, it is canon that Ryuk likes playing Mario Golf.
All right, I finished up the I finished up the homestead here. Great job, P0. Uncle Owen says that you're heading into Mos Eisley next. I'd give you a lift in my speeder, but I'm not allowed there. Besides, I can feel the rumbling as Sandcrawl's approaching, and Uncle Owen's going to need me for any negotiations. Yeah, yep. the sand people are coming, and they got the droids. I know, the Jawas. That should be fun. So, Mos Eisley, eh? Dude, that's going to be fun. Dude, do they have the music? Are they going to have the music? Oh, they better have the music. If they don't have the... They better.
Well, I doubt it because there's no music in Power Wash, but you could put it on.
I know, but
you could add it yourself.
Okay, problem with that is that I know that's copyright material, so like it's going to become a problem if it plays regardless, so like but still, like they need to at least give you the option to play it, like, you know, maybe like a little radio in the corner. I don't know. If they don't, then there is no justice in the world. There's just... Alrighty. Well, that's enough Power Wash for one day.
Oh, we done?
Also, in general, I would like to start winding some stuff down because it's starting to get a little bit late here.
Yeah.
Here, where's the exit button? I don't know.
It's 11:30. Here I am.
How do you exit Power Wash Simulator?
There is no exit.
Where is the
Welcome
exit?
Welcome to the amazing digital Power Wash Simulator.
Oh fuck, I'm trapped. Oh wait, there it is. Quit button. Okay. I just want to make sure that my progress is saved. I don't know how good that is. Went to the store earlier in the stream to buy milk and ramen. Yeah, you were talking about making some ramen. And nice. Haven't had ramen in a really long time.
Are you making your famous milk and ramen and cigarette casserole?
Mmm, delicious. It's got that nicotine that's healthy for all growing kids. Oh, good lord. So, I'm gonna head over to the end screen here. Thanks for chatting, by the way, guys. This has been fun.
No problem. That was fun.
It's super chill and like vibes and all that stuff. Cartoon. Oh, cheap and delicious. Oh, so there aren't any cigarettes in there. Because you can't make that cheap. Unless... I don't know much about cigarettes. Are there... What's a inexpensive cigarette, if that even exists?
I don't think it does.
Okay, well then, you can't.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Here's a little bit of an update for what I have planned for next week.
Don't do school saying drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs. Do not do it. I don't, and you shouldn't either. Keeps you clean. Keeps the water and the hydration going. Right, so next week, Wednesday, I'm going to be playing Sonic Frontiers, and who knows, maybe we'll actually finish it.
You're really close to the end.
Oh yeah. Speaking of things that I'm really close to the end of, frickin' Silk Song. I thought that maybe like yesterday we were going to be finishing Silk Song. No. Apparently there were fleas that needed to be tended to, so we did that.
I'm just gonna say right now, I don't think you're gonna be able to get through Sonic Frontiers in this one stream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. Because you still have to do the Master King challenge.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say anything more than that, but remember when I said that there was something in the game where you're going to want to change the difficulty to easy? You haven't gotten to that point yet.
Oh no.
So I'm just saying.
Okay. Oh, did I say something wrong there? I think you mean this Wednesday. Oh, if I said something wrong, let me. I have a spotty brain. Let me try that again. This Wednesday, we are going to be playing Sonic Frontiers. Apparently, we won't be finishing it. Okay. On Saturday, I will be playing Silk Song. That we probably will end with. I don't know how we could possibly have 2 more streams in us with Silk Song. I've collected all the mask pieces, and I've got the super.
Yeah,
sharp
you
needle.
basically. I think next stream you're gonna fight the true final boss, and that's gonna be it.
I don't know how we're gonna the true final boss. If that's gonna take up an hour and a half of my time, I would be surprised. I don't know. We'll see. And then, I guess we'll do a little bit more chilling out and talking and all that jazz next Sunday. And one more thing, another reminder. Speaking of Star Wars, next Friday we are going to be starting up our round of playing. Or no, we're going to be watching the Star Wars franchise, and we're starting out with the Phantom Menace because we kind of have to. It's kind of a requirement considering Star Wars.
Don't worry, guys. I promise it's not as bad as I genuinely think it's not as bad as its reputation suggests. I think it's actually kind of a fun, dumb, silly B movie, basically.
Right. I'm looking forward to the camp and the silliness of
it's
of
very
Phantom Menace.
it's goofy as heck.
So, well, we have to get through that, and then we have to get through episode 2. So
the real one to dread is Attack of the Clones, because that one is so boring.
Right.
Absolutely
the only
nothing
positive thing I
happens.
have to say in terms of the Attack the Clones isn't that the episode where they have the giant Jedi fight with hundreds of Jedi in one room?
There is
Or
the
was that
gladiator fight.
The gladiator fight? I'm pretty sure that was the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we'll get to watch that, and that's kind of the high of the entire thing. After that, it just kind of peters out.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
At least after that, we get to Revenge of the Sith, which is actually fun.
Right.
Yeah,
and,
Revenge of
and
the
then,
Sith is
then we get to watch
actually
then we get to watch
kinda not
Darth Vader
bad.
kill things. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
younglings, no.
Or Young
Okay.
Link.
All right, I'm going to take off and just chill out for the rest of the evening. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for chatting with me, guys. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, always.
Thanks for hosting these. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Catch you later.
Catch you
Bye-bye.
later. Bye.
Bye-bye.